Part 1 pony on a part 2 dear Yahoo. Arodi by GC annual. A Japadian bro.
I'm telling you, the situation we are in now, Ghanaians don't need change. Change needs Ghanaians.
Repeat that, please. So, and Ghanaians don't need change.
Ghanaians don't need change.
Change needs
us. It means that we've gone past change. The situation is worse. That the change itself now is saying that please come and let me change you.
For the future of the country, and I say, about customer because and go what's the name of the car and go what's the name of some power and can beat me because of the president if you were coming. And it's always and then there were vice presidents in Iraq, some government presidents. I have compared with Iraq. The best have compared to about 4 years as vice president. Yeah, compare. Dr. Baumia 4 years, the one. We are compared. At least, maybe an apple good year. Fernando, on Friday, the church, I also heard Dr. Baumia to be a memoir. Fernando can't set Dr. Baumia for Kwana, and Dr. Baumia on your corrupt. Dr. Baumia on your bicycle. Dr. Baumia on your kind of forward line. Then you so. Man, you be able to say, I am corrupt and I'll send me, my penny and I'm they will say, I'm taking you. And the Abana and some of the Abana what they are paying for my baby vice president 4 years, in the 4 years. Now the 8 years, Dr. Baumia to do, they've been 4 years. I said, no, Mr. President 4 years, now back home.
In 2011, around 2 a.m., I was woken up by the security guards of His Excellency the President, Nana Danko Kufuado, way back in Bolga. When I went to see him, he was alone in the canteen of that famous hotel. We sat down to talk, obviously woken from sleep. And he said some profound things to me that evening. He said, Napo, Matthew Prempe, this party, you are the next generation. I'm going to give you some advice, pieces of advice this evening. And I hope you can stick to it. What were the advice or the pieces of advice? He said, my whole aim is to make sure when we get into government, we succeed ourselves. And I can only leave the party to one of 3 people. He proceeded to mention who he felt comfortable in 2011 to leave the party when he exits office. He's our second presidential candidate who is offering 8 years of competent leadership, 8 years of delivery. I can say I can say, without any corroborating, that 2 of the 3 are representing and coming after him. That is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and my good self, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh. Leadership is born and made. His Excellency Ronaldo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who himself was the man of the moment in 2007, and who himself we have listened to his crowning achievements, today is about leaving us, but it is ensuring that we succeed ourselves in breaking the 8 with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Since my nomination
is not going to affect the subvention of universities, indeed, of tertiary institutions. Indeed, we're going to increase the subvention to tertiary institutions, but we're going to budget for this. We estimate that it will cost between 270 and 290 million. We believe that we should be able to do that by resizing and rebalancing the budget to be able to find the resources for it. And it will be administered by the Student Loan Trust. And so the money will be paid to the Student Loan Trust, and the Student Loan Trust will pay that money to the universities on behalf of the students who have been admitted. But it will be a grant, it will be a loan. The Student Loan Trust will pay it as a grant. It will not be included in the loan portfolio of the students. The students would settle in the first year, and in the second year, when they have been registered on the Student Loan Trust, they'll begin to access their loans. And as you know, the loans are payable only when they finish school and have found a job. And so let me state again that it will not affect the subventions, the internally generated funds of the universities, because government will budget for it and give it to the Student Loan Trust to give to the first level 100 students as a grant to pay the academic fees. And then from the second year, they can properly access the student loan. So I hope that this brings clarity to it. I just want to reassure my colleagues in UTAG that it will not affect their IGFs. And indeed, over the years, government subvention to tertiary institutions has been dwindling. And so it's affecting the running of these universities. And so we think that if we resize and rebalance the budget and cut out a lot of waste, we can increase the subventions to universities so that they're able to run more efficiently and provide the quality education that we expect them to provide.
When we went to Gakli, the complaint was that immigration officers and other officers confront people and collect their Ghana cards from them on the allegation that they are not Ghanaians. We are a nation that is united in our diversity, and we come from different cultural backgrounds. No one ethnic group is more Ghanaian than the other. And so you cannot just listen to a person's name and assume that they are not Ghanaian. Of course, all over our country, we share borders with our neighbors. And until colonialism, we were the same people and we moved freely across the sub-region. It is the colonial boundaries that separated us. And so our cultures are the same. We eat the same foods, we dance the same dances, our names are similar. And so if you hear my name and you think that because my name does not sound like a certain name, then it means that I'm not Ghanaian, I think that that is a sad mistake. We must reorient our officials to be able to deal with this particular issue. You see, the point is, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, when he announced our independence, said that everybody within the borders of Ghana on 6th March 1957 is a Ghanaian. There were Lebanese here, there were Syrians here, there were Indians here, there were Zambramas here, there were Ashantis here, there were Ewes here, there were Fantis here, there were Gans, there were Gunjas, there were Frafres, there were Dagatis. All of us are Ghanaian.
And Ebi ni nsu a yebenya no. Ebi ni apaya papa a yebefa so. Ebi ni habwa yebuem. Ebi ni ayaresa a wo pa wo benya ayarehwe na wo di amoden akofie. Ebi ni asomdwe a wo benya. Obi ni obu a omomudi oman nanim omde no omamanfo. Eso wo mati asese senya amanfo na ekoto abamma wo mo a ka wo momu nyina bebi omudi onugina. Ebi ni de wo he. Ebi ni sense ya no nyina ebere so na yebedi so. Ebi ni de wo he. Ebi nso ni aban a onyiyim na ofiri ha na wo kasa anya me kasa na wo ye hiani na wo ye tenten na wo ye tietia ya nya nti na ye to aba. Unfortunately, they are anti-great and candy so. When they William, so was hard to say. So
I mean, everybody knows that Volta region is has a very good potential for tourism. And indeed, a lot of domestic tourism takes place. Even people come from outside to enjoy the ecotourism that you have here, the waterfalls, the beautiful vegetation, the mountains, and all that. I think that if we invest in developing these tourist sites, it will allow more people to come in. And that's why we even built the whole airport, because we thought that it will allow people to fly into Ho and, you know, do a tourism tour. We need to package it. And so we must get the tour companies to do a package that either brings people by bus, you know, and takes them to all the tourist sites so that they can enjoy. You have a beautiful hotel. Volta Serene is, you know, a lovely place to be. I know they do a lot of conference tourism, and so a lot of people come for conferences and things. But I think that it's a potential that we can expand. And one of the things the next tourism minister must do is to look at the tourist potential of all our regions, including Volta region, and see how we can get the tour companies to advertise and market the tourist potential and be able to bring people into the region.
I'm also telling them the NPP would not sacrifice this election on the altar of peace. I said the NPP will not sacrifice power on the altar of peace. We will not do it. We will not submit. We will not be cowed. We will not be intimidated. We will not be pushed. Muslim models were their natural models. And so we don't pay anyone. If the NDC believe they are more stronger than us, they should dare us in this election, and they will see that we are for peace. We like peace. We are for the progress of this country. But we will not be pushed out by any form of tactics. We are Ghana for EPE, Omukotu Aba Emma MPP. The MPP, by the grace of God, inshallah, will continue to be in office for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and for Midamuni. I'm also telling them the MPP would not sacrifice this election on the altar of peace. I said the NPP will not sacrifice power on the altar of peace. We will not do it. We will not submit. We will not be cowed. We will not be intimidated. We will not be pushed. Muslim models were their natural models. And so we don't pay anyone. If the NDC believe they are more stronger than us, they should dare us in this election, and they will see that we are for peace. We like peace. We are for the progress of this country. But we will not be pushed out but any form of tactics. Me a Ghana for Epe, Omukotu Abba Emma MPP. The MPP, by the grace of God, inshallah, will continue to be in office for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and for Midamuni. I'm also telling them the MPP would not sacrifice this.
Years down the line.
And already Raymond has started the conversation. Why you can't look to Ukraine as an excuse. You can't look to Ukraine as an excuse for why the city is in a free fall again. In fact, free fall is being charitable. We want to borrow from Bawumia's own words. In 2017, he told all of us that they had arrested the city and given the key to the IGP. Well, then of course he was a vice president. He's still the vice president, but something has changed about his status now. He is the candidate, the presidential candidate of the new patriotic party at the time when the city has broken jail again. I mean, in the last 7 years, the city has broken jail many times. We've had this conversation on State Play before, right? The difference is we are 8 months
to an election.
So it changes a lot. In fact, it changes everything. And as you know, once the city depreciates, everything follows. So I was looking at where we were with the city in 2001, 2021. It was 6 cedis to the dollar. If you look at the fact that the Energy Commission predicts that we will need $1.2 billion to buy fuel for the thermal plants this year. If it was 2021, we would need $6 billion. In same amount, we're keeping that amount of $1.2 billion constant. If it was 2021, we need $6 billion. So we need 6 billion cedis, right? Just about that. In 2024, you have to multiply that by 14. We're talking about some 15 billion cedis. Same amount of dollars to buy fuel, but completely different amount when they come to the CD equivalent. And that fundamentally is why doomsday is going to continue. Because obviously, we are producing the power in dollars and we are selling it in cedis. So the depreciation of the CD is going to affect your ability
to make up for the... In fact, and if you were to be an ordinary business, you price more than you pass on to the ordinary people of this country.
So it's crazy. I mean, the conversation we're having, it affects every little thing. In fact, inflation.
Yes.
Down.
It's established relationship between exchange rate and inflation.
Down to it.
Yes.
The doomsday primarily down to it. The fuel you buy at the pumps down to it. We need $400 million a month. To get the fuel we need to power our cars, etc. I mean, the BDCs need that to bring in refined product. And then I heard over the last 2 days that Sintu, the refinery, had added a whole different dynamic to the dollar problem because they're importing crude to refine. Right? Before now, you didn't have Sintu in the mix, so you're just dealing with your 400 million from BDCs, right? Now you have Sintu, they need crude. So they're buying crude. In fact, they bought crude that they need money, they're looking for dollar to go and do. So the government then went to a cabinet meeting and then decides that let's bring Sintu under the gold for oil arrangement. So now they're calling it gold for crude.
Sorry, gold for oil?
Yeah.
Contrary to the IMF
directive.
Oh no, it's doing. In fact,
directive may be a better one, but I was saying urgent.
They have actually upgraded the gold for oil. They have a component called gold for crude. Gold for crude. So government is now sourcing the crude and paying the crude with gold for Sintu. And then Sintu will obviously sell in cedis and then pay back government. So the instruction is that the Sintu refined oil, crude, right, cannot be sold to BDCs. It's being given directly to MOS, and the MOS, because that's the arrangement and the goal for whatever, and then the BDCs are complaining. But it's all because of the CD depreciation. So, Bawumia, the question you're asking is, can he put the CD back in handcuffs?
I have asked this question before, that maybe he's busy. You know, more recently, when, the vice president does not take care of people's allowances, teacher trainees allowances. So it makes sense that you would have a vice president that's busy. But when he ordered that they should be paid, Today, as we speak, we understand that the money is being transferred, if it has not been transferred, into the account of the health ministry. So it appears that the vice president, when he's ordering things to happen, he can make it work. Like the way he was able to order 175 million. This one, we need him. Let's not get it wrong. The introduction of Mahmoud Bawumia is the economic messiah who will fix the economy of this republic. Now, Winston has the entire 50-page restoring the value of the city lecture from 2014.
Yes, I have it.
Why have you gone to dig that thing up?
I'm going through.
That's in the past.
Permit me to only quote the conclusion.
Okay.
He says, Mr. Chairman, in conclusion, I would like to repeat without exaggeration that the Ghanaian economy is in crisis. It is time for serious action. If government does not take the right decision, and soon, the Ghana would like to approach the IMF for a bailout before the end of the year. At the end of the day, the obvious lesson is that we cannot run away from fiscal and monetary discipline, no matter how hard we try. I thank you for your attention. God bless you all, and God bless our nation. Mr. Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, flag bearer, substantive. Please, the economy is in crisis today. After the IMF, they're already with them. So after that part, there is no conversation. We had a conversation 2 years ago, but we're already with the IMF. What is required is that, and that history people cannot miss. This entire economy is under Mahmoud Bawumia, whether we like it or not. That conversation we have about Mahmoud Bawumia, when he was always being introduced by the president of this republic, was that this is a guy, I picked him because he helped Kufuor fix the city, do other things with the economy, and he will do the same with us. We all remember that, right? That one, yes. It is we all remember that.
Not in doubt.
Yes. This is the time we need the most, not in distributing laptops or iPads, tablets, not in talking about technology, not in talking about digitalization. This is the time we need a savior, the be it all in the economy to fix the economy.
You see,
no, it is most important. Primary role of every economy, and I'm coming to this right
before you come to that. I just want to say, you know, Dr. Bawumia has this: if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you.
Yeah.
If you play propaganda with the economy, the reality will expose you. This is page 44 of restoring the value of the city. So what should government do to restore some value to the city? You know, the good thing about literature is that it provides a basis for analysis all the time. And we can always go back to it and say, I mean, these are things that we know we should do. It says, Mr. Chairman, the following measures may be considered. The government has to admit that the economy is in crisis so that it can carry along the country and get public support.
We will also be providing live lab opportunities to Ghanaian tech startups under a matching program by purposely connecting them to matured large tech firms working on government tech projects to help startups test their ideas in real-world environments and to accelerate their product development cycle.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our job, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi, inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Right, hello, good morning and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana, live on Metro TV. It's a Tuesday, the 20th day of August 2024. By His grace, we're live and we're here. We're at another edition of this show. Our gratitude to go to Most High God for the rare privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making around here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly, but let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic. Voters exhibition begins today. 10-member New Times Corporation Board inaugurated. President cuts sword for $12 billion petroleum hub project. Peace is collective duty. Peace Council member. The Ghanaian Times. President cuts sword for $60 billion petroleum hub. Ministry of Food and Agriculture outlines dry spell mitigation measures. EC begins provisional voters register exhibition in all 269 districts nationwide. NMC inaugurates 9-member board of directors for NTC. Daily Guide. Election 2024. EC starts voters register exhibition today. Ghana's Berlin embassy reinstates citizenship process. Nana cuts out for $60 billion petroleum hub. Senate unveils digital platforms. I'm a man of solutions. Baumia. The New Crusading Guide. Ekufado cuts out for $12 billion petroleum hub project. Senate unveils digital platforms to enhance member services. We need a mindset of possibilities, Baumia. Strong personal brands add value to corporate brands. Professor George Kofi Amwaku. Second phase of Bring Back GN Bank tour hits Northern Ghana. Independent parliamentary advocacy group established to reshape Ghana's political landscape. Neo Kanta Ankara reunites family for historic Homo War celebration. The Insight. Exposed. How JB Danko attempted to sabotage Akosombo Dam project. Ghana's food insecurity crisis worsens amid economic struggles. Western Sahara, full text of United Nations report on implementation of Declaration on Granting Independence to Colonial Countries and Peoples. Gahomor celebrations turned bloody as police accused of brutality in Teshi, Bemlin, La Right, violence and injuries. Community blames and reported titles global others as they demand investigation and compensation. English Yalata Palace besieged by police soldiers amidst ongoing chieftaincy dispute. Gan Center for Culture and Development brings joy to Bekebi Orphanage Home. The Daily Statesman. $12 billion petroleum hub project takes off. Akufo-Addo. Baumia is best for presidency. Presby Church Lord's government social interventions. Senate saves 550 million Ghana cedis from deactivation initiative. Economy Times. CD free fall. Stakeholders want urgent action to slow depreciation. Food insecurity worsens as July rate pegged at 5.7%. Bank of Ghana issues draft guidelines to regulate cryptocurrency and digital assets. Business and Financial Times. ASEC calls for private participation in ECG to address power crisis. Government urged to lower business costs amid rise in relocations and closures. Investors remain cautious amid easing inflation. North Tema Cooperative Credit Union records 28.85% increase in profit. Strong personal brands add value to corporate brands and increase sales performance. Professor Amwaku. Amenfiman Rural Bank allocates 500 million cedis for collateral-free loans to boost MSMEs. And that's about it for the front pages. We're back shortly.
Pascal is showing his boss the efficient new technology they've installed. She's pleased. But now she's asking, why is that still there? Pascal explains the new fleet-finding darts are more accurate than the old ones. The boss is not so pleased anymore. If you haven't automated your fleet management yet, it's time to get business done better with MTN Business.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fair missy way.
The patch of Bantama.
Matias. It's her smile, the fresh breath.
Me Gidi say we use Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind. Cal 360 toothpaste.
Reskia, Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint, gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You so feeling to Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
We are back bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bets. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the partial daily jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
As you can see.
These adverts have been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
Nominations are now open for the 8th edition of the prestigious Ghana Energy Awards until August 30th. Under the theme, the role of local content in building Ghana's energy sector. Categories for this year include the Energy Personality of the Year, CEO of the Year, Visionary Leadership Award, Local Content Legacy Achievement Award, Energy Company of the Year, Local Content Leadership Impact Award, Energy Think Tank of the Year, Rising Star, Energy Reporter of the Year, and many more.
Visit www.GhanaEnergyAwards.com to nominate today.
The Ghana Energy Awards is endorsed by the Ministry of Energy and the World Energy Council Ghana. Validation is done by Forbes Mazars Ghana. Media partners, Metro TV, Graphic News Plus. It's yet another grand edition of the most coveted award platform in Ghana's energy sector. For sponsorship inquiries, please call 030-3940-300. Ghana Energy Awards, 8 years of redefining excellence.
Are you looking to own a prime piece of litigation-free land where you can put up your dream family home or your ideal getaway retreat within a luxurious estate? Then look no further. Welcome to Rehoboth Hills, where your dream of hassle-free land ownership comes to life. Acquire land devoid of multiple purchases, litigation, and land guard issues in a safe and secure gated community while enjoying the fabulous night view of Accra from the serene Ebri Mountains. Rehoboth Hills offers spacious plots that provide you with the ideal setting for your dream home and a valuable, safe investment for your future. The lands are located in the prime area of Ayarifa within our residential development Rehoboth Hills, overlooking the city of Accra and the Ebri Mountains. Our prices are very affordable and designed to fit your budget. We offer flexible payment terms, ensuring that you can invest in a valuable asset for the future. Contact us on 0244 764 499 or 0204-950-810 or visit our website at www.rehobothpropertiesgh.com. Rehoboth Properties, quality housing for all.
Ama, nansi mi jeno wo bin enko ye kwao. Ama ma ye bohu se kontomra akija.
Nansi me hu se me nyo basi makura. Ama me kunu me into kwankwa. Oh yiwa. Enye mo ko. Give us JC lecture and the capsules. Aye num bom. En ho asem na mo kana. E boa emma ene meme nyina. Na ma wo ba ye obesima. Na be ma so aye be masima. Ya, we be boa wuku. Ama ne giant sa wo de hye no botum. Na wanyinya na ni ntisese ni oyi chokmo. GC mixture and a castle.
A painful battle, one more menu for one and Quada when you feel to me.
Here is to the friends who took the chance with no regrets. Investors no more hating fortune. To the health workers who diagnosed blacks every move. And then to the hard guy who couldn't hold his emotions. To the passionate fan who couldn't contain his joy. To the seamstress who turned her hand-earned stitches into a bundle of joy. And now, here is to you. Your next big win is right here.
From 1st July 2024, dial *712# and Coswato tickets as a group individual to win in the community draw or the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. Unlock your luck with *712#.
Regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
So welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Okay, so I like to take you back into time, and not too far off, just 15 years ago. And you may not have remembered, but that's when you, for the very first time, discovered the ease of moving money around conveniently. And here I'm talking about Momo. Momo is already 15 years. So Momo has been with us for 15 years. So think back to all those moments. Momo has been there for you. Guess what? Momo is 15 years old from the first time you send money to a loved one, to paying your bills effortlessly or enjoying the peace of mind that comes with secure, safe, and reliable transactions. It's been an amazing journey so far. Now get ready for some mouth-watering offers as we celebrate Momo at 15. Look out for our market storms and floats near you and win some mind-blowing prizes. Thank you, Ghana, for doing this with us. Download my Momo on App Store or Google Play and just Momo it everywhere you go. And if you're thinking of getting that toothpaste that will serve the entire family and save you some money, the recommended family toothpaste is Kel 360 toothpaste. It's approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Kel 360 toothpaste provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. Kel 360 toothpaste is good for kids, children, and adults. Let your family be a proud family when they step out by constantly using Kel 360 toothpaste. Kel 360 toothpaste brightens your teeth, prevents cavity, and with its cool mint, gives you fresh breath throughout the day and protects the gum from decaying. For consistency and quality, use Kel 360 toothpaste. Kel 360 toothpaste is another product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso. Is available in all supermarkets, malls, and provision shops. Call Samara Company on 0246 864 798. Kel 360 toothpaste. Happy smile. And enjoying the fruits of your labor is as important as enjoying the mansions of your labor. The pains of climbing the stairs when not exercising could be challenging irrespective of your age. But worry no more. Lift and elevators have got you covered with the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market today. It's a simple, self-supported elevator for both homes and offices. And guess what? It can lift your goods too. Wheelchairs can fit in, and they come in 3 custom-made models. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days. Visit Lift and Elevators at Sakumon or just call them on 0200535515 or send a mail to elevatorsgh@gmail.com for consultations and the best solutions in easy vertical movement. Okay, all right. So with me on the show this morning, I have the freshest ranking member of the Finance Committee of the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. He's also the Member of Parliament for the Bolgatanga Central Constituency. The Honorable Isaac Adongo is here with me on the show.
Good morning. Yeah, good morning, and good morning to your listeners.
Okay.
Particularly the good people of Bolgatanga Central.
All right, okay. We'll come and talk about Bolgatanga Central pretty shortly. But also with me on the show this morning is also a man who is vying to get into Parliament. And depending on how it goes, it could either be a ranking or something else. He also speaks for the flag bearer of the NPP, and he's the parliamentary candidate for the NPP and the Tano North Constituency. Dr. Gideon Buako is also with me on the show. Doc, good morning.
Randy, good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Yeah, and good to see my Burger Bulldozer.
Is that his new name, Burger Bulldozer?
Sometime when I went to Burger, I heard that name somewhere.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. Burger Bulldozer.
I have not heard it.
You never heard it?
No.
Okay.
I'm sure you went to the wrong place.
So from Adogonomics to Burger Bulldozer. All right, okay. So Tano North.
Yes.
How's the place? You won the primaries.
Yeah.
You are the candidate. Yeah. How's it shaping up?
Well, it's going well. My regards to the good people of Tano North.
First of all, help us. For those of us who probably don't know where is Tano North? What is Tano North? What's exciting about the place? What's it like?
Well, Tano North is, in terms of constituencies, yes, one of the 6 constituencies in the Ahafo region, who were carved from the old Ahafo region. And so when you're from Sunyani entering Ahafo and you want to use the Kumasi stretch, Tano North is the first constituency that you will meet. It's a constituency of predominantly, farmers, relatively a good number of public and civil servants also. We have about 4 nursing institutions there.
What's the capital?
Kwanta.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. So it's one of the moderate.
It's like the border, right?
Yes, border to
Ashanti.
Sunyani.
Okay, Sunyani.
And then between Ashanti and then Ahafo region.
Yes.
So from Tanonof, you get to Bechem, Nkwanta, then you cross to Ashanti region.
So Nkwanta.
Nkwanta is the capital, and Boma is my hometown.
Boma?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so that's the constituency. But it's been good. I mean, like you said, by the grace of God and the support of all of you and everybody in the constituency, I won the primaries and very convincingly. And I'm very certain that getting into the main elections in December, I will be able to win the seat for the New Patriotic Party. It has traditionally been the seat for the NPP since 1996. 1992, NPP did not go to parliament. Yeah. But from 1996, when NPP decided to patronize the parliamentary elections, the Tanonof constituency has always delivered to the NPP. In fact, in 1996, in the then Bono Ahafo region, comprising today's terms, Bono East, Ahafo, and Bono, NPP won only 4 seats in the entire Bono Ahafo region, and Tanonof was one of the seats. Okay. So I would say that in the Ahafo enclave, Tanonof may be presumably the stronghold for the NPP in the Ahafo region. Yeah.
What was the margin in the last election?
The last elections, the presidential and the parliamentary were not the same. Presidential, President Akufo-Addo beat President Mahama with about 63%, and the vote difference was close to 11,000. It was 10,000 plus votes difference. In the parliamentary side, the NPP parliamentary candidate beat the NDC candidate, and the margin was 53 or 54%, and the vote difference was 3,000 to 4,000. So there was a huge gap between the presidential and then the parliamentary. But I'm very certain that this time around, we are likely to even get more votes in the parliamentary than the presidential.
So that's my producers have just thrown up a map of your place.
Okay.
If you can just let's check it out.
There we go.
So that's accurate, right?
Yes, that's accurate. Okay. That's accurate. Yeah. So we are close to the north.
Right.
And we get into Sunyani. Tano South is there. And then if you come down here, you have the Setifi North, South, Sinafo North, and then South also. Yeah.
All right. Bolgatanga Bulldozer. Will you adopt the name?
No, not at all.
You don't want
we have only one bulldozer in the whole of Upper East. And that's my regional chairman. We call him Chairman Bulldozer.
Chairman Bulldozer. Yes. What is his actual name?
We call him Bolnaba, Alaji Bolnaba.
Alaji Bolnaba.
Yeah, he says that he works like a bulldozer.
Okay.
When the road is yet to be fixed, we look for the bulldozer.
Okay.
But when the road is fixed, the bulldozer doesn't qualify to be on the road.
Maybe that's why I heard the bulldozer, because I heard the bulldozer somewhere.
It was rather the chairman.
His argument is that when he works for NDC to come to power, then
he takes a back
they'll
seat.
give appointments where he sits at the back seat.
Yes.
Because the bulldozer would destroy the road. So they have to put it on a payloader. But it's good I've met my brother after almost 2-3 years. He has an apology to render. I don't know whether he's ready, because he had a heated conversation with me on radio.
Okay.
And I made a claim that His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia had announced to give GATT $860 million. The Ghana Amalgamated Trust.
Okay. Which is what?
Which is a company set up by government with a view to participate in helping the financial sector.
Okay.
They call the Ghana Amalgamators. And I had made a claim that Bawumia had said at a function that he was giving $860 million to GATT to support the financial sector. And I said that was extra budgetary. It was not budgeted for, and that it was illegal for somebody who was talking about fiscal discipline. I was surprised that he himself was not fiscally disciplined. And this young man called me all names.
Oh, really?
How dishonest I was. Bawumia never said that he has been with him, and that day I was supposed to appear with him in the evening.
Okay.
And I said, okay, we'll settle it in the evening.
Okay.
So I called the station.
Okay.
They fished for the video, and this man didn't turn up.
Okay.
And I've been very livid because he called me names.
Okay.
And basically said I was lying, when in fact he was the one lying for Bawumia.
Okay.
And I want him to apologize, because I'm a very honorable member of parliament. I don't lie. I don't speak issues that I do not have control over. And when I say something, I mean it. And you remember that.
So when did this happen?
Oh, this is about 3-4 years ago. Since that
which station?
Joy FM.
The last time I had both of you here, but I don't remember.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Randy, you see, I'm
look. The video was produced on the program.
Okay. Listen,
and he didn't turn up.
Listen.
Evans Mensah played the video.
Okay.
Where Baumia was saying exactly the things I was mentioning, that he claimed I was dishonest. I was unbecoming of a member of parliament. And very unprintable words.
Okay, he's here.
I take
he's here.
We all make mistakes.
He's here. Let him do it.
I take very serious
He's here. Isaac is here. Let him do it.
This is very strange, and your approach to this issue shows very little respect for me, and the way you even started. And what you're saying, I don't remember the last time I was invited to a show, and I did not honor the show. I don't remember this.
I can remind you.
Please.
I can remind you. You sent late.
Please.
Okay.
And you sit here and say that I have used unprintable words on you. I don't remember in my political life the last time I disrespected anybody in my political discourse. If anybody has such evidence, I am ready to yield to it. Everybody knows how I conduct myself.
So what will you do if I produce the evidence?
Even at the
if I produce the evidence, what will
provocation,
you say? No.
I know how to control myself.
Randy.
But you Isaac.
So you don't come here.
He's even going on and on about this.
Please.
Just hold on.
When you don't have basis for what you're saying, and you come here to tell me that 3 years, 4 years ago, and like you said, we have met here before.
No.
Please.
No. This is the first time you are meeting me afterwards.
Please. What you are saying, honestly, I don't remember.
Okay.
So you don't remember any discussion about GATT?
I remember we have had a discussion on GATT. I don't remember using unprintable words on him. If there's anybody, and viewers watching us know, between you and I, if there's anybody who had the tendency and potential to use unprintable words on the other person, the viewers can judge. I don't remember any such thing. I remember we've had several discussions on the economy, on so many things during the GATT time, whatever. I may have potentially challenged something that you had put out. You might have thought you were right. I also must have thought I am right. But to say that I use unprintable words on you, and to the effect that you want me to apologize for that, I am sorry. If duly I know I've offended you, I mean, I don't take hesitation in making amends. But please, don't go on that tangent to put me on the bad spot. Everybody knows me and knows how I conduct myself. I have not used any unprintable. You have said all kinds of things against the vice president.
Of course, and I can prove them.
Yes,
I can prove
look
them.
at how you've been sitting here justifying
I don't say things that I cannot prove.
in the fact that were not right. You've never apologized.
I cannot say things that I cannot prove.
You understand?
It
is not a question of whether you can prove or you cannot prove. Even if I have something so factual about you, and I think that morally it is not right to put out, no matter how factual it is, I must know how to cover it up. You have said all kinds of things against the vice president. Nobody has asked you to apologize. I have not, and I repeat, I have never used unprintable words on you. And so the call for apology here is a non-starter, with the greatest of respect. You understand?
But you're saying that if it were brought to your knowledge.
Of course, Randy, we are all human. You want me to err is human, and to forgive, they say, is divine. Right. So if truly it is brought to my knowledge, and I realize, I said something against Randy, that was not right, I said something against him. I mean, what is the point in holding on to the issue? Right. But I can say, as far as my memory serves me, I have never used unprintable words on him.
All right, okay. Isaac, so you heard him?
Randy, yes, I heard him.
He says he has no recollection.
You see, to say that I was lying when I was being factual. And Joy FM ran Evans Mensah, went and produced the video. That evening, it was PM Express. When I went there,
produced the video to who? In my presence,
produced the video in the program.
Which program?
It was PM Express. You were supposed to come. Before I'm coming, take your time. Before the program, you know, Randy does, Evans does the 6 p.m. program.
Yes.
So we had a precursor.
Okay.
When I raised those issues and he said I was lying. Baumia never said that. That's okay. We will continue it at PM Express. So I called Evans, fished out for the video in which Baumia was making this claim. They fished out the video. In the evening when I arrived at PM Express, he didn't come. Late, Ochimabwaji came.
Okay.
And on that program, I raised it that, look, I was very disappointed that my brother is not here. Because he was telling me that I was lying. That I can get that video.
No, I
can get it. I can get it. It's been almost 3-4 years.
Randy, the point I want him to understand.
Okay, so let me hold on. Let him just
let me finish. I can produce that. I can produce it on record.
Produce what?
The video
that
of you not attending the program and Evans.
No, please.
And Evans, I'm coming.
If I were not invited to the program, how do I please?
There were even yesterday. Honorable Nyako was supposed to come here this morning. They changed it and he came. It was the same thing that happened. And I'm saying that,
I have no idea
let me finish.
who was supposed to come.
You don't want me to say what I want to say.
What you're saying is not true.
So
let him finish. Gideon,
I am surprised at you.
Gideon, let's just allow
it. I'm trying to restrain myself, but what you're saying is absolutely false.
Gideon, hold on. Hold on. If you have to speak to it, I'll let you do it. Don't worry. Don't worry. Let's hear him out.
Randy.
Yes.
Evans Mensah played the interview you had with me earlier.
Okay.
To situate the video he was now going to play about Baumia confirming what I said. This was a program that was advertised. You were aware you were attending. The precursor you had with me, we all agreed that you were coming on PM Express. It was advertised. Flyers were all over the place. When I arrived, you didn't come. It's not something that you were just ambushed.
Okay.
And Ochimabwaji came. But if he says it's not, I will produce that video. Because it's a program that was aired live.
It's okay.
Okay, so, but I want to say that the issue about Dr. Baumia, he knows that I have never said anything about Baumia that is not factual. He cannot challenge me on anything I have said that is not factual. But in any case, if it's about, even if you are factual, you should blemish it. Why? Didn't we hear Baumia?
He didn't say blemish.
Whatever. He said that we should know how to put it.
Yes.
Why? Well, what did Baumia say about John Mahama in those days?
Randy.
What did he say about those days?
Randy.
So, after John Mahama, he is not a human being.
Randy.
That's fine.
I mean, this whole attempt. Let's
just wrap up.
That has been his stock in trade. The least opportunity he gets, he wants to go after Baumia. Okay. That is why he's starting from this. You understand? The host of the program has not even told us what he wants us to discuss. You came here with a mindset to make Baumia the center for your discussion. And that is why you decided to go here. And if we leave him, he say all kinds of things against Baumia, and he doesn't see anything wrong with that. But he sits here, bears his teeth out to lie that I was offered to have a debate with him, and I didn't honor the debate. I don't remember any invitation to me.
Okay, so if you don't remember, don't say he lied.
Please,
you say you don't remember our lies.
Please.
I lied?
Please. And you sit here and said, I have used what kind of unprintable words? I want you to produce them.
Okay. So let's proceed. Let's proceed with the program. So Gideon,
we'll settle it.
So
Doc, we'll settle it.
Doc,
the video will be out there.
Doc, we all know what happened on Sunday.
Yes.
At Takoradi. And I see one of the headlines here. Baumia's promises are credible. Trust in his leadership, Gideon Buaku. Have you been quoted correctly?
Yes.
Okay. So take us through what happened on Sunday.
Yes.
And convince us why Baumia's promises are credible and why we should trust in his leadership.
Yes, thank you, Randy. So Sunday, as you are all aware, the New Patriotic Party outdoored its manifesto. And as we all know, the manifesto has been christened over the years across all political divides as a social contract between the party and the government to be formed and the Ghanaian people. And we sought to go through that usual ritual to present our manifesto to the Ghanaian people. Of course, in the build-up to the launch of the content of the manifesto as was espoused by the Vice President, there were speakers who dealt with some of the achievements and the records of this particular government. And the Vice President, in his speech, captured why that was necessary, because your past record of achievement more or less indicate whether or not what you're proposing to do can be seen as credible or not credible. At least for the New Patriotic Party, we have been able to put to the public domain via the internet the benchmarking of our previous manifesto promises against what we've been able to deliver. And if my memory serves me right, I think I can say that the NPP perhaps is the only political party since 1992 that has been able to put such information out for the verification and the periscopic eye of the Ghanaian people. And we did that in 2020, where we had the delivery tracker. We put out what we thought we have been able to do vis-a-vis our promises. In 2024, we've stayed on course, transparent and open as we want to be as a political party. We've also put on record via the performance tracker what we think we've been able to do as a government. We encourage every Ghanaian to go through the system and draw our attention to any anomaly if there is, and also see what we've been able to do. We think in totality, we've been able to execute at least 80% of the promises that we made to the Ghanaian people. What it means practically is that we have about 20% of the pledges and the commitments that we made to the Ghanaian people upon which they voted for us that have not been delivered. And we have been very clean, we have been very clear, and we have been honest on that. We think that we are not the first political party not to have been able to honor all its political manifesto, and that we want to be open to the Ghanaian people, that there are certain things that we said we were going to do, we've not been able to do. But if you put everything together in summation, we think that we put up a superior performance relative to the performance of past governments and narrowly the NDC that is the main contender with us in this particular election. And we move ahead to present what we think is the bold solutions for the future to the Ghanaian people. We've said a number of things, and we believe that if Ghanaians judge us based on what we've been able to do and give us the opportunity to continue, we will be able to deliver more to the Ghanaian people. Then the question comes to, what do you think you've been able to do that you think that the Ghanaian people should give you the chance to continue? We think that, yes, we've not been able to create jobs for every single Ghanaian youth or Ghanaian in this country. The unemployment situation is still high, but the fact still remains that the NPP government, led by President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has been able to deliver at least 2.3 million jobs to the young people of this country. This is a fact. This is something that is verifiable. We've put that data out, and if anybody has a contrary data, we want to subject ourselves to such interrogation. But we think that there is still more to be done, because yes, according to the World Development Index data, we've been able to reduce the rate of unemployment from 3% in 2017 to 2019 to 5% in 2016, and even youth employment 6% down from 10%. But there's still more, a lot of young people who do not have jobs, and we need to create more for them. And the 2.3 million jobs that we have created, that is not enough to cover all the unemployed youth in this country. It's the highest any government has created since 1992. So in terms of superior performance, we think that we are credible, and we have provided that. We've been able to ensure that yes, Ghanaians go to the polls to vote, such that government will come and instigate policies that will address the myriad of challenges that they have. And what are some of these challenges? One of such challenges is that every Ghanaian wants to see his or her road tarred or done to a level that will make it more trouble for them, whether they are using a boboya or they are using saloon cars or Land Cruisers or whatever. We believe that we've not been able to do every single stretch of road in this country, but in all modesty, in honesty, and humility, we have been able to produce close to 12,000 kilometers of road. And that is the highest any government has been able to do for the people of this country since 1992. So on that score, we think that we have done well. And given the opportunity, we will be able to do more.
When you say, let's just pause here a bit. I want a little clarification. The 12,000 kilometers of road, what exactly are you talking about? Are you talking about construction of new roads?
So the 12,000 includes about 2,000 kilometers of asphaltic roads. It also includes roads that have been constructed, tarred, bitumen. It also, in different categories, also includes roads that have been, upgraded, you understand? Not seeing, let's say, bitumen, but have been made more trouble. So there are different categories. Unfortunately, I'm not able to give you
that's fine. I just wanted to...
Exactly.
Okay.
And then we also think
and you say that 12,000 is unprecedented?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
We think that we've been able to do that, and that's there. Okay. In terms of connecting the Ghanaian people to rural telephony, we think that we have increased the rural telephony from 78 sites to 1,008 sites, and that is the highest, connecting Ghanaians such that they will have connectivity to telephones. We have constructed more public libraries than any government since 1992. We've increased the total number of public libraries from 61 in 2017 to 105 2023. We have constructed more fish landing sites for our brothers and sisters in the coastal areas than any government since 1992. Constructed fish landing sites in Azim, Diskov, Mori, Manford, Winneba, Senyabreku, Gomoafete, Teshi, Osu, Ekumfi, and Infansiman. We have constructed 2 major fishing harbors at Elmina and Jamestown. And in terms of sanitation, every Ghanaian is concerned about sanitation, because if you don't have proper sanitation, your health issues become vulnerable. And we have constructed more sanitation facilities, about 817, and we think that is the highest that any government has been able to construct for this country. And as a result, we have increased the proportion of the population with access to toilet facilities from 33% in 2016 to 80.8% in 2023. And also 5,400 communities have been declared open defecation free since 2017. We've constructed more sports facilities, and you are in the sports field, Randy, and you know better than I do, than any government since 1992, as far as we are concerned. Because we think that we've completed 6 new multi-purpose sports stadiums and 4 ongoing in each.
Which ones?
4 in each of the 10 regions.
Now, which 6?
I'm talking about the ones that were commissioned, the one at Eastern Region. There's a name they give to it, but here...
The Youth Resource Center.
Exactly, the Youth Resource Centers.
Forget about them.
Okay. Yeah. And then, in terms of AstroTurf,
yes.
You know, in 2016, as of 2016, there were 3 AstroTurfs. Today, we can talk of 150 AstroTurfs for the young people of this country. We have also been able to provide the operational capabilities of the security services, and you know the infrastructure that we've provided to them and all of that. Now, Randy, if you look at our power and fuel sector, I know under President Rawlings, we had fuel shortages in this country where we had to queue to have fuel. I cannot recall same for President Kufuor's era, but I know when President Mills and the NDC came, we equally, similarly had to queue for fuel. In 7 to 8 years of President Kufuor's government, we can say that it is to our credit that we've been able to manage the fuel situation in this country such that not a single Ghanaian has ever queued to go and get fuel. And we know the significant role that availability of fuel provides to the well-being and the day-to-day life of the Ghanaian people, as well as our businesses, the growth of our businesses. And for a government to go 7 to 8 years without fuel shortages, that is something remarkable that I think the Ghanaian people are appreciative of. In terms of the power situation, yes, we do usually have some intermittent fluctuations in the power sector, but in relative terms, every Ghanaian knows that the dark days that we experienced in the era of President Mahama and President Mills, where we had to live with Dumso for it to become more or less part of our life, that situation is no more. So all of these sum up to the fact that we have put up a superior performance. And if you look at electricity tariffs, we think that we've been able to have the lowest increase in electricity tariffs in recent history. Between 2009 and 2016, the average annual increase in end-user electricity tariffs was 50% per year. But between 2017 and 2023, the average annual increase was 11.1%. And this is the lowest annual average increase in electricity tariffs for any government since 1992. We have had some introduction of some taxes, admittedly. But I can say that we have also abolished or reduced about 21 separate taxes in our first term before the global financial crisis. And at a point, we reduced import duties by 50% between 2019 and 2021. And if you look at the rental assistance scheme that we have introduced, helping a lot of people who hitherto had to put up 2 years rent advance and they could not do so, but government is helping them to mitigate the stress on such people. In the digitization space, you can see the many improvements that we have brought to public service delivery and also to private businesses and enterprises and individuals doing their own business, such that things have eased up for the Ghanaian people, high velocity of money, the movement of money from one end to the other, spurring growth in the economy and making people have easy access to move funds from their mobile phones from one telco to the other and to move funds across mobile networks to help the Ghanaian people in many, many spheres of life. School fees and funding of high school education was a major problem for many Ghanaians. For some of us, but for government scholarship, we wouldn't have completed senior high school and got into where we are today. President Kufuor and the MPP government thought deeply about this and decided to have an intervention to alleviate the sufferings and the burdens on the parent who has to, cough out money to fund the child education at the senior high school. So we implemented a free senior high school education policy. Many thought we could not do so, but we've been able to do that. And today, hundreds of thousands of homes have been able to get educated people and graduates who have gone through senior high school, proceeded to the tertiary education level, and have come out successfully, and others are in the process. So we think that this is a major milestone in the development of this country. Over time, you're going to have a critical mass of Ghanaian young people who are at least various levels of education in this country. We've done the same for the TVET. We've made sure that we provided the necessary equipment and tools for our education sector. Yet there are still more to be done. But we believe that all of these put together position us as the government that has been able to deliver on most of the pledges and the commitments that we had with the Ghanaian people. And therefore, given the opportunity, we stand a similar better chance to advance the cause of this country in terms of economic emancipation and developing the talents of our young people and providing them with opportunities. We've made sure that we provided jobs for hundreds of thousands of our nursing trainees. Yet there are still others who are home, and currently there has been financial clearance and they are going through the processes to recruit those in 2021 who completed. There are still a backlog of our nurses at home, and we believe that the coming into force and the completion of the Agenda 111 will suddenly make Ghana have over 100 hospitals, district hospitals in force operational, and all of this will also employ nurses. So we are getting to the era in the history of Ghana whereby somebody finishes the nursing school and would not have to stay at home for a year or two before that person is recruited into the force. And so we think that when you put all of these together, there is a critical mass of evidence to show that yes, President Akufo-Addo's government has not been able to deliver on all the promises they made, just as all other parties and all other government. But we think that based on the information you have put out there and where we are today, we have performed or given a superior performance relative to all the other political parties who are in contest with us. And so, if the answer test to a political decision is what is the alternative, we think that the alternative is nothing closer to what we've been able to offer. And that is why, in humility, we beseech the Ghanaian people to look at our performance, project into the future, and see which of the political parties has what it takes to deliver for the Ghanaian people, given the next opportunity.
Right. Okay, Doc, so we'll hold on here, and then I'll bring in Honorable Abdungo to deal with the issue of your performance. And then after that, we'll now look at what you're promising.
Excellent.
But help me with something on the job issue.
Yes.
I need a clarification on it, then we'll move on.
Yes.
Now, you stated, and it was at your program, that you've created 2.3 million jobs.
Yes.
1.4 million of these jobs in the public sector.
Yes.
Okay. Now, the Comptroller and Accountant General recently appeared before the Public Accounts Committee, and he spoke about 760,000 persons on the government payroll. So I would need some clarification on this. And then I stand to be corrected, but my check suggests that SNAIT has an active membership of 1.2 million.
Yes.
SNAIT has an active membership of 1.2 million. So how come that government has created 1.4 million new jobs in the public sector, plus another 900,000 in the private sector, yet SNAIT has 1.2 million active members? I need you to help me out with this.
Well, I'm not the best person to explain SNAIT data and what exactly it means to have 1.2 million active. And
it means that those are people who pay.
And here they are using the word active.
Yes.
It means they have more, but they think that these are the ones that payment is regular.
Yes.
For them.
Yes.
So it doesn't mean that the 1.2 million is the final figure that they have in their database.
No, not the total number of registered people on the SNAIT scheme.
Exactly. They say active.
But active. So
exactly.
Those who
exactly.
pay.
And we know that mostly in the private formal sector, I mean, there may be people who are employed. Maybe SNAIT payment was done one or twice, and the companies are not paying further. You know, these things happen. And so, because SNAIT has said active, I think it will be better for all of us to understand it very well if we get to know the total number of registered, people in the SNAIT database.
No, why I find it curious, Doc, why I find it curious is that if we know the number of public sector workers, I mean, proud to government come into office.
Exactly.
So if government says that we have added 1.4 million public sector jobs, public sector workers registered on SNAIT are considered as active.
Exactly.
Okay. Exactly. So if we already had a certain number on the public sector payroll, and government, and that number should be in excess of 600,000.
Exactly.
Now, if government has added 1.4 million people onto the public sector payroll, then at least if SNAIT's active membership is only about public sector workers, we should be speaking in excess of 2 million.
That number.
And then, how will controllers say that there are 760,000 persons on government's payroll when government has created 1.4 million new jobs in the public sector?
Yes.
Which payroll are these people on?
So here the difficulty.
That's why I said I want clarification.
Exactly. The difficulty is you can even see that from the controller figures and the SNAIT figures, there is some discrepancy.
No, there isn't.
No.
I would want to believe that the difference between the controller's figures and SNAIT's figures will be private sector.
That is your belief.
Yes.
I don't have that information, so I'm unable to tell. But what I can produce to you is that we have given a list of where these 1.4 million jobs are, and that data is out, which has not been contested in any way as of now. And then we can subject that to the interrogation of the information given by SNIT and then the controller to see where.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Exactly, but I'm unable to delve deeper into these rudiments to get to exactly what.
That's fine. Okay, so Honorable Dongo, let me bring you in. Dr. Buaku has told us about their performance and why they think that they deserve another. He will tell us later on what exactly the promises they are making. But at least he's told us that on the scorecard, he believes that they've made 80%. They've performed better than any other, than the alternative. Okay.
I just have some information, if I can volunteer,
please,
if it is important.
Yes.
I'm told that not all public sector employees are on Controller and Accountant General's payroll. And then 2, SNIT does not have data on all the security agencies because they don't contribute to SNIT.
Okay.
And then also, most of the private companies in Ghana declare their workers to avoid. That is
I don't even want to go into the private.
Exactly.
But
so these are the public sector. These 2 information are provided. And it's something that we can all look at.
Okay.
That 1, not all public sector employees are on the Controller and Accountant General's payroll.
Okay.
So it is likely the Controller and Accountant General will have a lower figure.
Okay.
And then 2, SNIT does not have data on all the security agencies because they don't contribute to SNIT.
Yeah, but but we have the data. You provided the data on the jobs created in the security services.
Exactly.
Yes, and that does not exceed 100,000 in the security services.
Yes.
So,
but this is information to more or less.
I don't doubt that. I'm saying that I've analyzed all those.
Exactly.
Yes, and I'm saying that even if you took the jobs, that breakdown, you took the jobs created out of the security services out of it, there's still a gap. Of about 600,000. And I'm finding out where, not even 600,000, there's a gap of about 1.2 million.
Which will be strange anyway.
Yes, exactly. So I'm trying to find out where those people are.
Exactly, so we can find out.
Yes, Honorable.
Randy.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes when I listen to this government and this spokesperson, I find it difficult to understand whether they are in this country or they are speaking about another country.
Why?
Because they've messed up this country. Everybody is aware of that. People are struggling. Data from reputable, independent bodies speak differently from the data that government cooks in their offices. I would prefer to rely on data from reputable institutions that are independent of government because I don't trust government data. And I heard him keep saying that we believe. No. There must be verifiable and credible data. The World Bank reports that the unemployment in our country has moved from 14.6%, I mean from 8.6% to 14.7%. And you have a government saying that it has created more jobs. How does that happen?
But that's possible.
Yes, but which data are we using?
No, I'm saying that in nominal terms,
yes,
it is possible to have created more jobs. Yet those jobs will not be sufficient in terms of rising population and people who are of working age.
Randy, look at the difference. You see, I have heard the argument that when you started quizzing about the government payroll and the numbers they claim to have created, you are looking in excess of 2 million. And the audit service is saying that it is 716,000. And he said that not all of them are on government payroll. Those that are not on government payroll, you can count them on your fingertips. Ghana Standard Authority, how many people are there? Exim Bank, how many people are there? Free Zones Board, how many people are there? Those agencies that are using internally generated, even those entities I've mentioned, okay, the staff, the establishment numbers require that they should be put on payroll. Our laws, our public financial management laws are very clear. You cannot use public funds to pay for compensation unless you have clearance from the government through the Ministry of Finance. So All those people that he's talking about, government is aware of them. And the controller and auditor general is aware of them. So how come the auditor general goes to verify 770 million people, and 770,000 people, and you somehow have over 2 million? Where are they sitting? Ghost workers. Clearly, you can tell that if you ask the government, they will tell you they've created 4 million. They can tell you it's 5 million. In fact, and they could have even mentioned 10 million. Because those data are not credible.
So at least I've just found out that the total membership of SNIT is 1.8 million. And this is data given by the Honorable Ignatius Bafwe, Minister for Employment.
So 1.8 million, right?
Total.
Yeah, total, including private sector.
Active is 1.2.
Including private sector.
Yes, total is 1.8.
And private sector employs more than government.
So the point is that if government has added 1.4 million new jobs in the public sector, and you expect government to register every employee on the SNIT scheme.
Yes.
So it means that government should have added 1.4 million people onto the SNIT scheme in the last 7 years.
Yes. In addition to the over 660,000 they came to meet.
Yes.
That will push it to over 2 million. But that is not, SNIT is not only dealing with public sector workers. It is dealing with, in fact, the bigger employer.
In fact, per the controller's figures, it means that we are talking about 100 or 110,000 added.
Yes. That's what it is.
From 660 to 7...
Almost 760. Okay. And now...
Because teachers alone, you've recruited over 100. No, I understand. I'm just providing
you
that.
may not be
there could be retired.
No, not you.
You said I was right.
Not you. I was... No, please.
Isaac,
Isaac is okay. Don't worry.
Right.
Why are you?
Don't worry.
No, I was writing.
No, he was just keeping it a conversation. It's fine. It's fine. Isaac, let's go.
We want to have a conversation. And I was listening to you. Even
no problem.
No, so
I was not even referring to you, Honorable. I was referring to the figure
it's okay.
Randy gave. That is what I was supporting.
Right.
It's okay.
Let's go.
Randy, my time.
It's fine. Let's go on.
Good. Okay. So you see, lies and cooking figures is like pregnancy. You cannot hide it forever. The day will come when you will deliver. So these numbers exist only in their books. They sat somewhere and wrote those numbers to come and bulldoze Ghanaians. 2. Rani. Rose. In this country, we're measuring roads from Dry and Kwanta to Sunyani Road. Achimya Road to Adansi Road. That was what we're measuring. They came and now they are talking 12 million. Meanwhile, when they come to your constituency, 12,000. When they come to your constituency, they come to commission traffic light.
I don't understand what you're saying.
In Boga, the president came there and commissioned traffic lights.
How?
2020. He came and commissioned traffic light.
What has that got to do with roads?
It is to tell you that if he had roads constructed in Boga, he would rather go and commission those ones. Because he has nothing to show in Boga, he came and was commissioning traffic light at the junction leading to the Borgataga Regional Hospital. That's what he came to commission.
But we've seen some roads asphalted. We've seen some roads built.
Randy.
And they say that if they put all together, whether feeder roads, reshaping, re-graveling,
Randy,
asphalt overlay,
Randy,
fresh construction, it all comes to 12,000.
So Randy, if you reshape 100 kilometers of roads, next year, you come and reshape the same 100 kilometers, you say you have done 200.
Yes.
The following year, you come to reshape the same road, you add 300.
Yes.
Is that what we are discussing here?
That's how it's been calculated. No, that's how it's been calculated.
Oh, okay.
That's how
and I understand why we are no more mentioning Dry and Kwanta to Sunyani Road, but we are mentioning kilometers. So that the same time will come on it. In fact, some of the roads that they reshape, recently in my constituency, I was reshaping several roads there. They are already capturing them in their kilometers because they have been reshaped before. And I'm reshaping them. Is that what we call road construction in our country? But if that is the way they are assessing how...
So you folks in parliament, that's my, I intervened and I asked Dr. Buaku for that breakdown.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, he doesn't have it and it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But it is because I realize that that is what is done. You do regraveling, reshaping, whatever they are called, and then you add all those kilometers, and then it's mentioned that we've done 10,000 or 12,000 or 15,000 kilometers, but we do not interrogate this because the reshaping thing. I'm sure that there's there's probably a particular road that we reshape 2 times a year,
Randy,
or 3 times a year.
Randy, when the rain stops, we'll go back and reshape.
Yes.
My ranking member on roads, Honorable Kwame Abuja, has been raising this point in Parliament, but you know, these people believe that when you tell a lie several times, it becomes the truth. So no matter what you say, what they want to say is what they say.
Maybe we must have a clear standard for reporting.
So how do you
road construction?
How do you go and lamp up roads that you have reshaped several years, and you say that you have done more kilometers than any government since 1992, when other governments are not counting those reshaping that are padded as part of the kilometers?
Gideon, just take it.
Okay.
I
was drawing your attention that the calculation of the kilometers of road that has been constructed is not the creation of the NPP. It's the creation of the Ghana Highways Authority, feeder roads. So just as they calculated for previous government, it's the same formula. I'm writing, but I want to.
You are taking my time. You are taking my time. You don't want me to talk? I was quiet and writing. Right. We are not going to do that on this program, Randy.
Good.
He wants to bulldoze it.
You see, the roads and highways, or whatever it's called, are managed by political directives.
Okay.
And one political party, when they are in government, they say, look, we are interested in roads that we have properly constructed. Okay? And that when we reshape a road several times, it is still 100 kilometers. That road doesn't stretch to become 500 kilometers because we have reshaped the 100 kilometer 5 times. That's how another government does. So you can't just come and say that because you have added it 5 times, you have done more kilometers than the other government. What is the basis? This type of reshape, that fuel, queuing for fuel. Can you tell us the amount that you queue to buy fuel? As we speak, in Professor Mills and His Excellency John Dramani Mahamad's time. When you were buying fuel for less than 4 cedis per liter, you were spending less than 16 cedis per gallon. Today, the price that we are paying for a liter is the price we're paying for a gallon. And you are here still comfortable talking about fuel.
I was talking about shortage.
Oh,
shortage. You've never queued for it.
What is shortage?
You didn't say it's cheaper.
Randy, do you know that there's nothing in this world that is cheaper? That is in shortage. If you agree to pay obnoxious amount of money to be available.
Okay.
Do you understand? If you agree to pay through their nose, it will be available. And you are here still talking about fuel, doing fuel politics. The fuel that we cannot buy at the pump, you are still talking about it. Power. Somebody generates the power, and you come and say that because you are able to sell it cheaper than the one who produces it, you are better than the person. But Randy, are we not in this country? How many times have the electricity bills gone up in the last 2 years? Electricity bills have gone up for more over 80%, and you are talking an average of 11%. From where? Which data? You see, this is the type of cooking of data. Electricity bills, every quarter, it goes up. Every quarter, it goes up. Every quarter. It is your IMF program that every quarter you increase electricity bills. To the extent that electricity bills have gone up by almost 70% in the last 2 years. And you are talking average 11%. And this is the one you want to go and sell to the people of Ghana. Cooked data. Which 11%? Where did you get it from? Where did you get that 11% from? And you want us to believe you. You see, import duties. That you reduce import duties by 50%.
No, we've not reached there yet.
No, he mentioned that they reduced it by 50%.
No, I said at the time.
At the time. I want to go to that at the time.
Okay.
What happened? That was a scam. Mm-hmm. Do you know that we never had benchmark duties at the port? Mm-hmm. Benchmark duties itself is frowned upon by our Customs Act.
Okay.
That you are supposed to use the transactional values in determining the duty. Mm-hmm. But you remember they came to say that they were going to abolish 1% import duty, special import duty. When they abolished the 1% import duty, special import duty, if this phone, you were charging 1% on this phone at 100 cedis, they went to the port and said that we don't care how much you are importing this phone. As far as we are concerned, we are benchmarking this at 200%. Calculate 1% or 2% on 200 and compare it to when you were calculating 1% on 100. Then the import duty shot up because they went there and they gave with the left and took more with the right. Importers started crying, how come you said you have reduced the import duty by 1% and now we are paying more? Then those cries were so intensified that one day he called it stakeholder engagement with the economic management team. Out of the blue, he announced that he was going to give 30% rebate to importers of vehicles and 50% for certain selected items. Even that, what happened? Importers were still crying because if you had stayed with even the 1%, they were going to be paying cheaper. So all that you did was to scam them. And the importers are aware. So how can you scam people? And even that you couldn't sustain the scamming, you were back to square one. And you are here saying that you reduce import duty. Go to the port today. Go and buy the cars that the Uber people are using. Those vans and whatnot. Go there today. You can't even pay the import duty. The port is virtually empty. People cannot import because they cannot pay the duty. And you have a government spokesperson sit here and tell importers in the face that they have reduced import duty.
But I said at the time.
At the time.
At the point in time.
What does that mean? Was the government supposed to run for 1 year? Did they vote for you to run for 1 year? Or they voted for you to run for 4 years and another 4 years? So at the time means what? At the time means what? Randy. In all this conversation, you see that now they've run away from talking about the fundamentals of the economy. How do you deliver infrastructure? How do you pay school fees? How do you employ people on the payroll? You must generate revenue and you must be able to deliver that sustainably. And when a government fails to meet its debt obligation, that government doesn't even qualify to even be seeking office. It is the worst form of management of an economy.
Explain that.
When you are a government, one of the biggest trusts that your citizens have in you is that for you, when you take our money, you give it to us. That is how the capital market has operated over the years. So you went there and told them that they should give you money and that you will pay back the money with interest. And it is a reason when we were in school, and I'm sure he was also taught that government debt were risk-free because government never defaults. Today, we are unlearning all of that. The Alpha Akufo-Addo Bawumia government, you trust them at the peril of your investment and your life. They came and took 60 billion from the poor investor in Ghana. They didn't end there. They went to the international capital market where they were borrowing $3 billion a year to tell them that, look, whatever we came to tell you, we're lying. We cannot pay. They didn't end there. Other countries that gave them money, their friendly countries that gave them money, they went to them and said, look, we cannot pay. The commercial creditors that are giving Ghana money to build infrastructure, they went and said they cannot pay. How can you trust that type of people to run your economy? All all these services that you're talking about must be delivered within the basis of a sustainable management of the economy. And when you fail, you are unable to manage an economy, that is the worst of it. You must go away because you cannot have free money. Are you suggesting that we should, the manifesto that you have promised, we should give you the government so that you go and collect the people's money that you have borrowed? You decide not to pay them. Is that how you are going to run this economy? Your record is that you took inflation to 54%. That's your record. It will forever remain the record of Bawumia in our governance. You took the depreciation of the city when you were roaming at Central University, shouting about restoring the value of the city and talking about fundamentals of the economy, not knowing you knew nothing. You took a depreciation of the currency to 54%. That will forever remain the record in the annals of our country. When you said that you were good at managing monetary policy, you came and printed money. Even against your own IMF program, you went printing money. After you had signed an MOU with the IMF, you went printing money. Over 80 billion was printed by you. Is that how you want to come and manage the economy? You took interest rate to the roof. When government itself was borrowing at 33, 35%, how much do you think Kokumenu will borrow? In this mess economy, you are presenting to us that you have created 2 million jobs or 1.2 point something million jobs. You think that we don't think. We will not find you out. I want Dr. Bawumia to come to Boga and commission one of his dugouts in the name of one village, one dam. He should go there. Today, if you go there, even we are in the rainy season, you may not even find water to water chicken. And you want to come back. You said that you were going to give Zongo $50 million a year. It's been almost 8 years. Have you given them $400 million? And you still want to come back? You came and told us that you will give each constituency $1 million a year. It's been almost 8 years. Have you given each constituency $8 million? And you still want to come back? You were on the campaign platform promising that you will build greenfield factories. You didn't say that you go and paint people's factories. You didn't say that when people are building their factory, you come and load them with some tax exemption and go and write your name there. No, you didn't say that. Because the private sector did not come on the campaign platform to promise those factories. Go and show me the factory in Boga that you have built. You came and told us that you will construct the Palugu multipurpose dam of about almost $950 million. You scammed them and took $12 million for no work done. You still want to come back? Look, the cocoa sector. You have collapsed the cocoa sector. Cocoa sector is completely gone. You cannot even produce 500 metric tons. 500,000 metric tons. You can't. And you are here saying that you want to come back after you have destroyed the livelihood of cocoa farmers. You said that you fight Galamsey. You came and became architects of Galamsey. You still want to come back after you have destroyed our environment. Randy, our youth are jobless. Unemployment is through the roof. Livelihoods have been shattered. You came and destroyed our banks. Over 422 banks and financial institutions were collapsed by you. And you threw almost 30 million Ghana cedis at this. You still want to come back? Is that how you manage an economy? No wonder they are not talking about economy. Toilet, toilet, toilet. If you ask them, toilet government. Toilet. You get up and you're talking toilet. You have built more toilets. You went to Abobloshi and promised them 32 seater toilets there. Go and show me those toilets. The next day, you went and evicted them and took them away from there and made them homeless so you don't build a toilet for them. You are still talking toilets. Go and show me the toilet at Aboblochi. Show me where the people are living now. You people came and said, if you do propaganda with the economy, the exchange rate will expose you. Where is the exchange rate today? Where is the exchange rate today? 16 cities. It's almost 17 cities now. Importers cannot import. Volumes have dropped because they simply cannot afford it. People's capital have been destroyed by this person. He says, bring me back. So that he will just finish you quarter. Randy. Agriculture. You say you are the champion of planting for food and jobs. You went to Ukraine, where the bombs are landing, where the people are fleeing for their lives. You went begging for cereals there. How lying can you be? What type of lack of credibility is that? You are in your country blaming Ukraine for your hardships. Then you go to the same Ukraine people and say, I beg you, give me some maize and wheat. The people that they are bombing, who you claim are your problems, now they can farm and give you wheat. Ghana beyond aid begging for wheat in a war-torn country. Very dishonest group of people.
Okay.
Randy.
So wrap up for me on this.
Yes. We're in this country, when somebody was touted as the economic whiskets, this is why he took us home. The things
you are referring to the Vice President.
Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and they say I shouldn't talk about him. When I have a vice,
mention his name.
Oh, when I have a, if my child goes to school, and he comes to tell me that there is a doctor in economics who calculated depreciation of a currency and said that Ghana's currency depreciated by 240%. Polluting my student, polluting my child. You want me to have to clap for him?
What is wrong with that?
Rate of change to calculate depreciation?
What's wrong with that?
Where? Who does that? A currency cannot depreciate more than up to 100%. A currency can depreciate by 99.9%.
He was bringing it to our level.
No, it's not. No, our level.
No, I'm not saying your level with me. Me and my.
Oh,
Gideon, just don't worry.
You want me to give you my
Gideon?
Oh, you are political.
Gideon,
listen
don't worry.
to me.
We'll come back and deal with it.
A currency cannot
Isaac, just hold on.
by more than
You know the
99.99%.
determinants of exchange rates?
Oh, Master,
You know one of the
listen,
determinants of
do you know something? Do you know something? Exchange rate calculation is already determined. We are no longer discussing theories. At the Bank of Ghana, the formula they use to calculate exchange rate depreciation is no rate of change. That is why even though your currency was gone, you didn't get 120%, but you got 54%. Because a currency cannot depreciate up to 100% because it loses its value 100%.
Yeah.
When it loses value, it doesn't exist to be depreciated again. And you have an economist depreciating the currency that has expired, depreciating it up to 240%. And you are here saying that what?
All right.
Okay. Where? Can you show me how that is done? Bank of Ghana, across the world, depreciation of a currency is settled. And this governor, this vice president, worked at the Bank of Ghana. He didn't learn that.
Okay. All right.
He didn't learn that. And then when I say you said
so we'll take a break. When we return, Gideon, we'll wrap up on this.
Yes.
And then we'll look at the promise.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll be back shortly.
Experience the enhanced protection of Star Motor Third Party Extra from Star Assurance, an enhanced motor third party insurance policy that provides cover for loss or damage to your vehicle's windscreens, side mirrors, back glass, and other glass components. Whether it's a crack or major damage, you can drive with the assurance that your vehicle is well protected. Our commitment to you includes affordable coverage options and a claims process that is both fast and straightforward, so you spend less time dealing with paperwork and more time on the road. Also, we have proudly partnered with Hope for Little Lives, an organization dedicated to supporting children in need. By choosing Star Motor Third Party Extra, you're protecting your vehicle and making a positive impact. Every policy you buy helps bring joy and support to children in underserved communities. Reach out to us now on our toll-free numbers 0800-177-177 or 0302-245-906 to sign up. Let us help you drive with peace of mind and purpose. Star Motor Third Party Extra. Drive with confidence, give back with heart.
Star Assurance, your solid partner.
We are back bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bets. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly, no under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway, get way more.
Cratchy, unemu bua unkoisha Dr. Ma uye denwa.
Oh, Mr. Yamfan call me Buru. Mammy Buru. Don't you tell me call bra. Mummy Fan call Dr. Baho. Dr. Baho, yeah, bra. Somebody no pemu Juma, Sasabro slow. Dr. Baho. Hey,
let me call America. Oh, no pemu nim di onu na ye expect nya zanfo no. O akra any Kumasi no pemu expect yen kan kire o.
Now let me tell you why you should choose Safari Valley as your conference destination.
The new conference building combines modern amenities with the tranquility of nature, providing the perfect backdrop for your next seminar and corporate retreat.
The only conference destination with so many activities, you don't have to travel to visit your tennis club, the gym, or the stables. They have it all.
Enjoy this rooftop viewing deck, basking in the sunlight with the sight of wild animals roaming freely in their natural habitat.
At my break, I'm able to practice my putting.
It's a unique experience that sparks creativity and rejuvenates the mind.
Visit Safari Valley Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
Hello.
Luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone.
Lakoha, it's my missing opportunity to be the luckiest. It's time to put some smile on your face. Still asking what luck means? At Luckiest, we believe it's more than just chance. It's joy waiting to happen.
Let's go.
Dial star 712 Now password to tickets not as a group, individual and as a community. Now participating in the Luckiest from the 1st of July 2024. Grand draw near 30th November 2024. Luck is everywhere with the Luckiest. The Luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform and is not for persons below 18 years. Terms and conditions apply.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Still with me on the show, I have the Honorable Isaac Adongo and Dr. Gideon Buako. But I also that Kosombo Dam be big, but Betway's cash out be bigger. The enhanced early partial and auto cash out feature lets you cash your bets out early, cash out a portion of your ongoing bets, or even set your bets to cash out automatically. All this is to give you way more control of every thrilling bet you place. Sign up today at betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. This is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. It's not for persons under 18. Betway, get way more. And Blue Jeans energy drink has been on the Ghanaian market for over 20 years. We already know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy, as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans energy drink has been tested and tried. It's indeed the best. Blue Jeans energy drink is for bold and active men and women. So go on, grab a cold can and power your day. It's in shops nationwide, and you can reach Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 0208 128 190 or 055 001 0000. All right. So, Doc, I come to you, but there are two text messages from two members of Parliament. Okay. I read them, and then you can respond to them as well. So the first one is from the Member of Parliament for the Yape Kusogu constituency, the Honorable John Jinapo. Okay. It says that, so he sent an earlier one. It says a critical question for my friend Gideon Buako on the employment is which government agency verified his employment figures? Why does the Auditor General, Ministry of Finance, NIT, and other credible international agencies have very low figures? Can Gideon confirm which government agency verified these numbers? Then he says that in 2016, a residential consumer paid 88 cedis for 150 kilowatts of energy per month. In 2023, the consumer pays 250 cedis for the same unit. That is 184% increase in 7 years, translating to an average of over 26% increase per year. Where is this 11% Gideon is talking about? This is aside the current 10 billion cedis yearly loss reported in ECG's 2022 financial statement against about 300 million cedis profit made in 2016. Find attached the 2016 and 2023 official tariff recorder from ECG, and he has sent us the tariff recorders just in case we want to verify. And the Honorable Neil Lante van der Poy, he sent me one, trying to get that. He wants you to provide some answers for him. Out. When I get that, I'd ask you about that.
So these are two good friends. Honorable Neil Lante. We all went to the same senior high school.
Okay.
So he was my way senior before I got in. He had completed long ago. And John and I, we have a common professor who we are working under.
Okay.
So I'll respond to that, and I'm very happy that my colleagues in the NDC are listening and providing support to my brother Adongo here. We were talking about jobs.
Yes.
I like the fact that you drew his attention to. You tried to say that unemployment figures are going up, and so we cannot say we have created more jobs, and that cannot be the case. We must understand that unemployment is a function of the labor force, and labor force is also a subset of the total population. So you may have created more jobs, but insofar as population increases, you still have people who are unemployed. But the fact still remains that irrespective of the fact that there are still people who are unemployed, this government has created 2.3 million jobs, and that is the highest that any government has created since 1992. And John asked a very important question. So I have some data here, and I can share with you. And this is data that we have put out that is in the public domain. If you look at SNIT data, this is data provided by SNIT.
Okay.
Private sector formal employment. 2017, let me highlight this. 2017 was 171,079. 2018, 188,385. 2019, 180,258. 2020, 123,962.
Give me the 2020 figure.
2017, 18, 19, 20. 2020, 123,962.
123.
Yes, 123. 123,962. 2021 158,214. 2022 153,266, and that sums up to 975,164. And this is from SNIT. This is private. They call it private formal sector from SNIT. And that is what you add to what government has aggregated as public sector employment. That comes to...
Is this private sector or government sector?
What I gave you is private formal. That is how SNIT...
So private sector?
Exactly, private.
Yes, private
and
sector.
then you add up to what is in the public sector. That is where you come to the total figure that we are coming. And there's a breakdown of the one in the public sector. It's a whole Excel sheet, okay, that captures the breakdown of what is also in the public sector. So that has to do with the jobs data, and we can
but if we add all this private sector ones, if we add that, it's getting close to 1 million.
Yes, that is 975.
So 975.
Yes, 975,000.
So if you take the active, not active, the total membership of SNIT, as at end of year 2023 was 1.8 million.
Yeah.
Okay. So this figure is up to 22, not so.
Yeah, this is up to 2022, yes.
So if you have about 1 million,
yes,
what it means is that then you are left with 1.8, you have left with 800,000.
Exactly.
800,000.
Yeah.
If you take the 760 in the public service, then there's about some 40,000 left.
Yeah. So what I'm saying...
So where will you account for the 1.4 million public sector jobs added?
That is a question that we can get SNIT to establish for us, because
this is not SNIT. You don't have to. It's not SNIT. It's government that must answer.
That's what I'm saying, that this is data from SNIT.
Yes.
I'm quoting exactly this data from SNIT.
So the SNIT data, so Doc, the SNIT data creates doubts in the government data providers. So if we even take away the private sector out, and we are even dealing with public sector, let's even say that the private sector people have not registered for SNIT. And you deal with just the public sector. And it's good you give us these figures.
Exactly.
Which means that as of 2022, SNIT has 975,000 registered private persons.
Exactly.
Which means that you're left with about 1 million.
Yeah.
That 1 million even includes private sector people already registered prior to 2017.
Exactly. Exactly.
So if you take them out,
yeah,
you are even looking at a figure which probably is about 500,000-600,000.
So it's important.
So where is the 1.4 million created from 2017? Government must tell us.
Yeah. So
where those people are. Or you didn't register them with SNIT.
Brevity of time will not allow us to go through this assertion, but this is the data.
Okay.
And so I mean these figures are all coming from SNIT, so we need to cross check.
Right.
So that is with the employment. And then my brother and John talk about electricity. I think John is trying to talk about energy inflation. Okay, what the kilowatts or consumption per household was and what it is today.
Yes.
That does not erase the fact that if you want to talk about how much increase has been on electricity tariffs, this government has the lowest. That's the point. And I
Why
give
do you say
data.
so? He's saying that.
I give you some data.
Okay.
In 2010, the NDC government increased electricity tariffs by 89%. In 2011, it was 10%. In 2012, it went as high as 78%. In 2013, it was 28%. In 2014, it was 59%. In fact, the data suggests that there was a cumulative increase in electricity tariffs from 2013 to 2016 of 166%. That is the record of the NDC in terms of increases in electricity tariffs. In 2017, when the NPP took over, there was no increase in electricity tariffs. In 2018, electricity tariffs was reduced for businesses by 30%. And 17.5% for households. This is President Akufo-Addo. In fact, in the wake of COVID in 2020, we saw the intervention government made by reducing electricity tariffs. In July 2019, electricity tariffs went up by 11%. In October 2019, it went up by 5.6%. If you look at the increases and the reductions from 2017 to date, we are saying that the cumulative increase, that is when you net off the increase with the reduction, the cumulative is 11%. That cannot be said of the NDC.
So, Doc,
that was increasing electricity tariffs over time
Doc,
and had a higher cumulative increase.
Doc,
that is what we are talking about.
The cumulative and everything.
Yeah.
As at 2016 December, I was spending 88 cedis a month. Electricity.
Yes.
88 cedis a month. Today, I'm spending 250 cedis.
Exactly.
Same consumption. I've not changed from my chamber and hall. From 88 cedis in 2016, today I'm spending 250 cedis a month for the same consumption.
Yeah.
What does this cumulative mean to me?
What the cumulative means is that it is able to give you the relative performance across maybe two regimes or two different points from A to B. Yes, it has gone up, and that is not what I am saying, that it hasn't gone up. I'm saying that it has gone up. But if the NDC is saying that it has increased and therefore they are making fetish out of it, that is what we are reminding them. That if we had gone on the same progression of the rate of increase, just as it pertained under the era, what you're buying today that you're complaining would have been in fourfold or fivefold. Yes,
so the 88 would have been 1,000 Ghana.
Exactly, it has gone up. And also we must appreciate that maybe your income levels may have also changed. Inflation brings a different dynamics to it. So over time, that is why we're saying that a sustained increase over time. That is why we talk about the energy inflation. But we are saying that in terms of the relative increase and reduction in electricity tariffs, the NDC can never have a better record relative to the NPP because we have had just a cumulative increase of 11%. The NPP is known to have reduced electricity tariffs from 2009 to 2016. There wasn't any period that the NDC reduced electricity tariffs for this country.
So,
and that is
so
the
your
record.
friend has a response.
That is the record. I'm coming.
Yes.
I'm coming. Then Honorable was talking about.
Now stay on the electricity.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes. Honorable Jinapo says, I'm not talking about energy inflation. I'm talking about the real increase as announced by PURC. I have just taken the cost of electricity in 2016 and that of 2023, the net effect. He says he's not talking about energy inflation. He says real increase as announced by PURC. All he has done is to take 2016 PURC 88 cedis and 2023 PURC 250 cedis. That's all he has done.
What does it mean by that? Does not reflect inflation. That you're talking about increase from one point to the other. That is the rate at which it has moved, and it's giving the nominal figures. Okay, so if you want to do the ending minus,
and it says when you bring it
get
to
the
percentages, it's 22%. So it doesn't know where
the
26%. So it doesn't know where your 11 is coming from.
The average reduction in 2018 was 22%. That is the average.
No, you don't get the point. He says that if you compare the 88 to the 250,
yes,
over the period,
yes,
so the increase over the period,
exactly,
it comes down to 26% increase per year, irrespective of when what was reduced and increased. If you just look at the increase over the 7-year period,
that cannot be correct. The cumulative increase, and when I say cumulative increase, it means, like you said, the reduction and then the increase.
No, unless you doubt the figure.
No, I doubt what is.
Unless you doubt the 88 and 250.
No, I don't have those.
Yes, figures. If you don't doubt that, the calculation of 26% is correct.
I don't have those endpoint figures,
okay,
so I cannot say whether I doubt it or
Let's
not
move
doubt it. But the most important thing is that the cumulative increase has been 11%, and that is far lower than what we experienced under the NDC. Then Honorable talks about IPEP. I don't know, I'm sorry
to say.
Talks
about what?
IPEP. That is
okay.
$1 million. I don't want to say you need a better education on this, but what you're saying is totally indicating that you don't understand this whole concept of the one constituency, $1 million project. This is the NPP manifesto in 2016. Okay, this is the NPP manifesto, and I want to quote to you, page 62.
Okay.
Infrastructure for Poverty Reduction Program. The NPP will reorient the National Capital Expenditure Budget to place a focus on local constituency-specific needs. In this vein, an amount of the equivalent of $275 million, that is $1 million per constituency, will be reallocated from our existing capital expenditure budget to the IPEP. Let me move on to the relevant paragraph. Every constituency in the country will be allocated the equivalent of $1 million annually to finance capital expenditure on upgrading. This is how, paragraph 3. It is envisaged as part of their core mandate that the 3 development authorities, Northern, Middle Belt, and Coastal, will be the primary executing agencies under the IPEP. So yes, this promise was made, but the vehicle to execute this promise was through the development authorities. When Akufo-Addo came, did he create the development authorities? Yes. Are the development authorities executing projects under this program? Yes. So when you sit here and you say that a constituency was supposed to be doled $1 million,
but don't end there.
And I'm coming. You don't know where the $1 million is. Go to your constituency. There are IPEP projects in your constituency that your people are benefiting. All these projects are captured under that. So you cannot say that promise was not.
Doc, can't I simply take the budget statement?
Yes.
And look at whether the equivalent of $275 million has been allocated to the 3 development agencies on a yearly basis.
That you can do.
Is that not the promise?
Absolutely, you can.
And then further to that, can't I find out whether indeed
the project
development authority responsible for my constituency has done projects equivalent to $1 million? So first of all, were they giving their money?
Yes.
So but does the budget statement, and of course the preceding year, which will tell us what was actually released,
does
it confirm that on a yearly basis, $275 million were given to these 3 development
and therefore over a certain period of time, you have this amount. You can do that. Okay, and
is that not what should be done?
I love that to be done.
Yes.
And that is the most important thing to do.
And if that were done, what will it say of government's commitment to this particular thing?
If you're able to do that, I don't have that assessment now, but I'm sure, and I can tell you from what I know, that if you're able to do that, yes, you will be able to establish the fact that indeed funds were channeled through these development authorities under the $1 million per constituency for development projects and get some of the projects in place completed. But I can also tell you that you are not likely to find that the equivalent of exactly $1 million was spread for, let's say, for the 4 years, or over the 4-year period. It means that there was some shortfall somewhere. And that is why we admit in our performance tracker that the measurement of our performance is not up to 100%. There are things we promise we've been able to do to some point, we've not been able to complete. But it does not erase the fact it does not erase the fact that we stayed true to that commitment to ensuring that we provide resources through the development for development. Yes.
The $275 a year, which comes up to $1.1 billion over a 4-year period. How much of that was released to the 3 authorities?
You know, unfortunately, I will not be able to give you that detail.
That's fine.
So that
please let him wrap up.
That's the point I wanted to make.
Okay.
There's another thing he said that I can't recall.
Okay.
Where I put it.
Maybe let me bring him in, and then you can come in.
Yes.
All right.
Randy.
Yes.
Development authorities. He says that I don't understand.
No. Okay. He didn't say you don't understand.
I approve development authority budget. Okay.
When you say you approve, what
when
do you
I
mean?
say the finance committee.
Okay.
So I'm very, very conversant with the workings of development authorities. At no point have they been able to even give $500,000 per constituency, as we speak. Development authorities, the legacy of development authorities is a littering of uncompleted projects and arrears in excess of 4 billion Ghana cedis as we speak. 4 billion Ghana cedis. Even though you could not even provide the $1 million, the ones that you said you were going to provide, they awarded the contract, you didn't even send the money for them to pay. In my constituency, I cannot point to one IPEP project that is completed and used. I cannot point to one.
That is strange.
I cannot point to one.
I have a lot in my constituency.
Well, that's your constituency. I'm saying that it was for my constituency, and I'm asking you to respond to my constituency.
No, I don't.
And I'm saying that
I can tell you evidence
and I'm
of
saying
what I
that
have.
you see, just like Zongo Development Authority, Zongo Development Fund, you promised $15 million. There's a Zongo Development Fund, but you have $50 million a year in there. No. But you don't even have 20 million a year in there. That is the point I'm making. And you want to continue to make several other claims and promises when you have not even shown faith with what you said you were going to do. So, let me tell you something. It is not about creating the entity development authority. It's about making sure that the funding that you said you were putting there, you put it there. And you didn't. It's not about creating Zongo Development Fund. It's about putting the money that you said you put there, there. Randy, that is the point.
Randy, he accepts the fact. He accepts the fact. That
let him finish. Let him finish.
Jobs.
Gideon, let him finish.
Okay.
Randy, the biggest challenge is not just about the fact that the growth. I mean, there is an increase in unemployment rate. But it's also that your data itself is not credible. Your data that you are pointing to, the 2.1 million, per verifiable data available to everybody, other than what is available to the MPP, that cannot be verified. If you have SNIT, I mean, if you have the audit service that is saying that it was able to verify 760,000, and you are talking to almost 1.4 million in the public sector, where are they? That's a very basic question to answer. It is easy to cook data and come and tell us you have created 2.1. But the available data that is substantiated does not support it. We are not seeing those numbers reflecting where they are supposed to be reflecting. And that is the bottom line. Electricity. Electricity. Ghanaians are going to be livid with you if you continue to give excuses about electricity. You have a situation where every quarter you are increasing electricity bills. And you are here saying that it is better. I don't understand what you are trying to tell me. You are trying to tell me that the increases don't occur. People go to buy electricity, and when they arrive at home, they are not even sure whether they should put it in their meter, because immediately they put it in, it is taken. It disappears, and they are back in darkness. And you are here saying that you have reduced electricity tariffs, and that your average increment is only about 11%. When the numbers are put to you based on the reckoner, you say that you cannot substantiate. So where did you get that data? But you see, the bottom line is this. The bottom line is this. The people of Ghana are suffering. You people came and said you apologize to the people of Ghana. And then in one breath, you are telling the people of Ghana you have not done anything wrong. That's exactly what you're saying.
So, Randy.
That's exactly what you're saying.
Randy.
So, fulfilling a promise is just about dropping something in there and have a name about it.
First and foremost, I didn't say the average increase in electricity tariffs is 11%. I said the cumulative.
Whatever you call it. Whatever you call it.
No, you need to understand. Because
I'm saying that, whatever you call it, I buy electricity.
Please. We understand what you are trying to do. Don't deceive people with a lack of understanding of a term and accept that.
Okay, bring it to
average increase is not the same as cumulative.
So bring it to the level of the
average increase is not the same as cumulative.
So tell me, the ordinary man, what does that mean?
Please. What it means is that cumulative average means that there were periods of increase.
And so now if you go to buy electricity, what is the impact?
So you need to understand that the use of the term, you got it wrong.
I am interested in buying electricity now.
Please.
So when you go there, so I want a cumulative average.
No.
Is that what you go to?
What I told you is that we admit the fact that under this government, like all other governments, we have had increases in electricity tariffs. But you and I sitting here, who want to project to the Ghanaian people that individually, our political parties are better performance in terms of electricity tariffs. I am sitting here giving you data to suggest that we have never had the increases in electricity tariffs to the tune of 89%, 78%, 59% as we experience under the NDC relative to this government. And therefore,
this data you are bringing, where is it from?
If you want Ghanaians to make a choice as to who NPP NDC stands a better chance to reduce electricity tariffs for Ghanaians is the NPP. Then to Randy, he talked about roads. And when you put them to straight proof and you put the data before them, and they cannot contest the data, then they seek to doubt the credibility of the data. Now he sits here to say that People working at the Ministry of Roads are political appointees. That is what he suggested. And therefore,
Randy, the fact
please, I'm coming. Please.
Oh, please. No, you are asking me to
no, let me finish. Let me finish this.
Let me make a point.
Randy, I guess you have to do the
but that's why you give him 10 seconds. That is why you
10 seconds. No problem.
Kufuor,
President
Kufuor, sorry. His Excellency President Kufuor. Increase the length of our roads measured by kilometers.
Randy,
from 34,000.
That is not what I'm going to talk about.
From 34,000 to 76,000 kilometers.
Please, let me give you.
That's the length of our roads.
So, Randy,
what have you added? You cannot just be padding on the same road.
Let me
calculate kilometers.
So when he cannot contest the data, then he says that he indicts even the workers at the Ministry.
No, the data I've provided you.
Please,
do you doubt that data?
I'm coming.
Do you doubt this data?
Oh, please let me.
No, do you doubt this data?
No, let me give you the
76. So the 12,000.
I'm coming.
Where are you getting the 12,000 from?
It is first and foremost unfair on your part.
Our road network is even more than 12,000 kilometers.
It is unfair on your part to doubt the Ghanaian worker at the Ministry of Roads, to suggest that
I doubt the MPP people
they are subjected to political manipulation.
That's what it is.
And therefore, depending on which party is in power, they get them to
Randy,
treat
how
the
can
data
we move
to
from
their advantage.
76,000
now, Randy, let me give you this data.
to 12,000?
Let me give you this data. This is data from the Ministry of Roads and Highways.
Okay.
And it talks about a breakdown of road construction from 2009 to 2016. 2017 to 2020 in terms of length measured by the metric kilometers.
In terms of
kilometers.
Yes.
Ghana Highway Authority, 2009 to 2016, according to their own definition and how they define construction, whatever, is their own term. They said they did 581 kilometers of roads.
That's highways.
Highways. Okay. 2017 to 2022, 1,505. Okay. Department of Feeder Roads, 2009 to 2016, they did 1,613 kilometers. 2017 to 2022, 7,112.17 kilometers. Department of Urban Roads, 2000 and 2016, 2,442. 2017 to 2022, 3,357.08. If you put everything together, 2019 to 2016, highways, urban roads, feeder roads, they did 4,636. 2017-2022, highways, feeder roads, urban roads, they did 11,974, close to 12,000. Now, if you look at the summary of completed projects and activity from 2017 to 2022, they give a breakdown of this 11,974 under President Kufuor's government. Asphalt overlay, 1,807.
So asphalt overlay are tarred roads.
Exactly. The
already existing tarred roads.
Exactly.
That they go and put asphalt
So
on.
they are giving you a breakdown.
Yes.
So they are not saying that it is roads constructed from one point to the other as increase. It's asphalt overlays. And I like the details they are giving. It puts everything into perspective. Asphalt overlays. Bridges, they'll put it at 33. Okay? Construction.
33, are they repairs or newly constructed
I don't
bridges?
have that information. They put they put the data as what I'm reading to you. And they also have graveling and weight graveling. Okay? That one is 6,094.
So you appreciate that these are perhaps roads that have been gravelled and re-gravelled from perhaps Chairman Rawlings' time?
Maybe.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I like the breakdown. It helps all of us. And that's the same description they use for the roads under the NDC. So it's the same thing. Interchanges, they put it at 6. Okay? Partial reconstruction.
6 that are being constructed.
No, the interchange, there are more. I think 6 have been completed also. Yeah.
6 completed?
Yes. Partial interchange, partial reconstruction. They put that at 163.56 kilometers. Reconstruction, they put that at 186.4 kilometers. Rehabilitation, that is 1,187.11 kilometers. Resealing, that is 101 kilometers. And upgrading or surfacing, that is 1,818. Everything sums up to 11,974, close to 12,000. It's the same metrics that were used during President Kufuor's time, during the NDC time, and the figures are showing clearly that the NDC did a little above 4,000 kilometers in terms of all these metrics and definitions. As against the NPP,
so that
did.
You say what's the source of?
This is the Ghana Highways Authority.
Doc,
they gave you this.
Yes, Ghana Highways Authority.
I just told you that when NDC took over power from President Kufuor, the total length of our roads was 34,000 kilometers.
And you increased it to what?
We increased to 76,000 kilometers. So this thing you are talking, it pales.
No, this is data.
Oh, but this is not data. This is not data.
No, I don't know where you're getting this
You
from.
think I know where you got it from?
Oh, really?
I don't know where I'm giving you data. You can go and find out.
Randy, so
you are nowhere near.
That's a fact.
You are nowhere near the 42,000 kilometers that we need.
You are in parliament.
So what are you talking about?
Randy,
what are you talking about?
The honourable member is in parliament. You have that prerogative and that right to call the Minister for Roads, put a question to him to come and give you this breakdown.
I have the data.
And this has been provided to Parliament.
I'm saying 42,000 kilometers in 8 years.
Please.
Is that what you are comparing?
That cannot be true.
How can it not be true?
That cannot
How
be
can
true.
it not be true?
So don't let us sit
What do you have? You don't
and
have
claim
anything.
what you don't.
No,
Initially in your submission, you admitted that you have done this except to suggest that you casted doubt on the credibility of the data.
When I
I am giving you the data and indicating to you.
I got the data. I said, let me tell you, I said for it.
Information on Google can come from me, can come from any other person.
Expert who sent
let's go to the expert.
Information.
The expert.
Just that you are also working on your phone.
Your expert is on Google.
And I'm telling you, no, it's not Google.
No, you're saying Google. Google is your expert. I am sorry to say.
Google to confirm
that at this point,
and that is the point.
We cannot depend on
but
data.
But you can depend on your data you are
Please,
cooking.
we can depend on data from the official government.
Where? Which official government?
And that is the Ministry
of
the
government source that cooks data.
That I'm telling you.
You cooking data.
Okay. So
cooking data. We don't believe your data. So how can we believe in your data?
In a difficulty,
no, we can't.
The best thing to do is to doubt the data.
No. It's cooked data.
But data
you have always been cooking data.
No, please.
Oh, you are cooking data.
That is an insult on me.
Oh,
I am an
academic. You are cooking data.
I will never cook data
you are cooking data.
I will never. If you want
your PhD doctor president is a cook.
If you want people who are concerned about data authentication, I am one of such people.
And when academics keep saying that we have always been that.
That is why here. That is why here, in all humility and honesty, when Randy asks me something and I can't provide, I admit to him.
So are you saying that I cannot provide this?
So that credibility.
What are you suggesting?
And integrity.
I say you don't know this for a fact.
Communication.
No, say you don't know this for a fact. No, you don't know this for a fact. I will give you that.
Please.
You don't know this for a fact, but that is a fact.
I have never been. This data has never been known to me.
Yes, it's never been known. But this data has also never been known to me.
Okay. So that's
it's
fair.
Never been known to me. So what are you saying?
Okay. All right.
That's fair.
This data has never been known to me.
Okay.
So Randy,
let's leave it here.
I think it settles the whole thing.
I think we should deal with their manifesto.
I don't think we'll have much time.
Wow.
Really?
I thought that was what we came
So
to.
let's spend,
maybe after the lunch.
Let's spend 10 minutes each.
Yes.
So maybe highlights.
Okay.
So I'll give you 10 minutes, Dr. Buaku, and then he will respond in 10 minutes, and then we'll leave it there.
Okay. So I think as we launch on Sunday, we felt the need to establish what we have done, to project us into the future, and let us focus on what we think we are going to do next. Now, if you follow the manifesto of the NPP...
Okay, Doc, just a minute. You see, I was going through my phone.
Yes.
I knew I had some information on this roads thing.
Yeah.
And I'd wanted to share it. And here, I'm going to speak to documents that were presented to Parliament.
Okay.
The 2017 budget statement, paragraph 505. And then the 2024 budget statement, paragraph 724. So 2017 budget statement, paragraph 505, and 2024 budget statement, paragraph 724. Now, the 2017 budget, paragraph 505, talks about trunk roads, 10,723.49 kilometers. Trunk roads, 10,723.49 kilometers. Feeder roads, 16,183 kilometers. Urban roads, 9,384 kilometers. This is the 2017 budget statement, paragraph 505, which deals with what it was up to 2016. So trunk roads, 10,723.49 kilometers. Feeder roads, 16,183 kilometers. Urban roads, 9,384, so 9,384 kilometers. Now, when it comes to the 2024 budget, paragraph 724, trunk roads, 4,809 kilometers. Feeder roads, 8,984 kilometers. Urban roads, 2,318 kilometers. So this is the information that the 2017 budget statement, paragraph 505, and the 2024 budget statement, paragraph 724, give us with respect to trunk roads, feeder roads, and urban roads.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so in terms of the manifesto, we have indicated that in the 7 to 8 years of President Akufo-Addo's government, we have made attempts to provide some reliefs and safety nets to Ghanaians, especially the vulnerable, in terms of cushioning parents and households to support their wards at school through free senior high school, free TVET, provided tablets, and we are still ongoing providing the tablets, provided educational infrastructure, and a whole lot of stuff. Going forward, the focus in the 2024 manifesto that we launch is to see how best we can spur growth in the private sector to enable them to create more jobs for the Ghanaian young people. Because we understand that the issue of unemployment still persists and is something that governments, whichever political parties in power, must do much to make huge interventions. And then also, we have also realized that there's so much burden on government in terms of financing. And so if we always want to rely on government to finance certain key infrastructure in the country, it will take us a longer period of time to be able to make such interventions. And that is why we are bringing or trying to deepen the PPP arrangement to ensure that the private sector also comes to the fray to provide certain government infrastructure, like, educational infrastructure and what have you. If you go to the universities now, you can see Legon, KNUST, they have piloted this and it works very well, where they get the private sector to build hostels and then rent to the school or the students over time, and after some years, the university takes over the property. And so government thinks that we should be able to free some space in terms of government expenditure to get the private sector to come in. And so we're going to engage the private sector to let them build some of this infrastructure, lease them to government, and government takes time to pay for them over time, because we cannot continue to have the situation whereby we don't have such infrastructure and it takes us so long a period to be able to get them. Whilst the private sector can do that and then bill government installmentally over time to be able to do that. And we think that that will be able to free space of about 3% of the GDP, which is about 30 billion, for government to do other things to support the economy. Whilst you do that and you empower the private sector, you're also helping them to create jobs for the young people. Because the private sector, once they are into business and is flourishing, they have to create jobs for the people of this country. So that is something that we're going to do. We also think that in this era of the fourth industrial revolution, Ghana has made some progress in the IT space and the technology space, but we need to increase and step up the path. And what we're going to do is to ensure that the average Ghanaian youth has some exposure to the Internet of Things and then technology. And through that, we also commit to train about 1 million Ghanaian youth in digital technology, robotics, and all of that, just to empower them to be able to create their own, sources of income today. By virtue of the integration of the Ghana card with the other systems and the mobile money interoperability and commerce on the internet, a lot of young people are able to create and make some income over time and overnight to support their parents and to support themselves at school. We think that we need to scale up this particular intervention to help the Ghanaian people. we also see that in the SME sector, there's so much to be done. You know, in terms of the workforce, the SMEs employ about 80% of the people, and they constitute about 90.2% of the total jobs that are created or entities in the country. If there's a deliberate attempt to empower SMEs, then they'll also be in a better position to get financing for the activity, because part of the problems that we have in this country is financing SMEs. And it's also because most of them are in the informal sector. And we all know that the informal sector is highly risk. And so even if they want to assess funds, the risk premium and all of that creates a whole lot of disincentives for them to go into business. What can we do to ensure that there is a dedicated financing vehicle for the small, medium enterprises such that they can assess with understanding of what they do and also get some technical know-how to help their activities and make them spur growth. And by so doing, they are also able to create jobs for the young people of this country. Then there's a problem with our tax system. Over the years, we have practiced a certain tax system for some time. Recently, the Vice President led a team to go to Estonia to see the tax system that Estonia has. Also because Estonia is, if not the best country in terms of tax revenue and the tax system, they have one of the best. So we needed to understand how things are done. And we got to know, understandably, that there's a simplified tax system for everybody in Estonia. And we think that we can shift from the current tax regime that we have in the country that more or less creates multiple taxation in the system. And the VAT, the output, input tax, and the cascading effect of all of that. So we think that we need to create a system that simplifies our tax system with a flat rate tax for every Ghanaian. It makes it easy to compute, it makes it easy to apply, and it makes it easy to collect, such that people can easily file their taxes and then also get the economy running. So that is something that we intend to do for the businesses in this country. And then we look at the port issues. You know, part of the problem that the businesses are facing is when they go to import goods and they come back, the exchange rate has changed, and therefore it imposes additional burden on how much they have to use to finance or clear the goods at the port. And a lot of people are not able to clear. They say demurrage, and somebody who has had a very good intent to import a product to the country to help his or her business and to help supply the basic needs of the economy. That person brings the goods to the port and is not able to clear. It goes to demurrage, and then we have to auction it to another person who did not go through the suffering of importing that good. We think that we can change the system, and part of the solution is to ensure that there is a flat rate for duties in terms of containers that are coming to the country, so that there will be that kind of certainty to the business community to give them that kind of space that they need to be able to run their business. So this is something that is not happening now, but the Vice President thinks that given the executive authority as the President of the state, he will be able to get this done for the benefit of the Ghanaian people. Now, we also see the need to see how best we can put in place measures to empower women in this country. And there are a plethora of things that were mentioned in this respect, but I want to talk about the Women Trade Empowerment Fund. We understand and we know that most of our market women need basic, financing opportunities to be able to ply their trade. And I read somewhere from a recent study that if you want to look at the people who stay committed to loan repayment, it is women in this country. So we think that we want to create this Women Trade Empowerment Fund to support women trade in the country, such that whatever they are doing can also go on. We are also seeking to establish the FinTech Fund. The FinTech industry is booming in Ghana. In fact, there are Ghanaian FinTech companies that are moving outside the shores of this country. As I speak with you, there are 1 or 2 Ghanaian FinTech companies who are currently in Guyana, exploring other nations and other continents, the opportunities that they can have. They are growing in Ghana, and we think that we need to encourage that. When you have a robust FinTech system, it also helps, the transfer and the movement of funds here and there. And when you have such high velocity of money, it helps the economy to also grow. And then also we are thinking about a situation whereby we can have a proper credit system and proper robust credit referencing bureaus such that people in this country would not have to necessarily all the time hold fiscal cash in their hands in order to get certain basic, equipment and things that they need to run their life. Elsewhere, in Europe and North America, we know what pertains there because of the payment system architecture and the digital, evolution that has taken place. A lot of funds transfers and payments are done electronically, and that gives assurance because there's no problem with traceability and identity of a borrower. And so credit referencing bureaus are able to credit score individuals, and that gives them the opportunity to access loans at lower interest rates and also have the chance to buy a car, get mobile phone, get other gadgets to use without necessarily paying a whopping amount on the table. So that is what we want to create in the country. And we think that we've been able to put the pieces of the jigsaw together to enable us leapfrog on the technology that we have created. Because by the virtue of the Ghana card, individual identity is not a problem in this country. So when you want to approach somebody for something on credit, your traceability and identity, which hitherto used to be hindrances to the person's responsiveness to your request, is no more. So we want to do this and offer that opportunity, especially to the Ghanaian middle class who has completed university, has met a young lady that he wants to marry. He needs to rent a home, he needs a television in the house, he needs a small car to use, he needs an air conditioner, but does not have the capacity and the 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 to get all of this at a go before he or she goes to marry. If we have a credible and robust credit system that is able to offer people resources on credit, then they can access them without having to cough up the 50,000 and then get it on credit and pay over time. So, I mean, it's a whole gamut of issues that we have put out. But for brevity of time, just to put into perspective, point by point, what we seek to do in our next government, judging from what we've been able to do so far, despite the limitations that we have in some areas.
Randy.
Yes, sir.
I listened to the manifesto and I was looking for a seminar point.
Okay.
Something of game-changing moment. Something that will be on the lips of every Ghanaian. And I struggle to find one. But Randy, I am very sad that the manifesto was very silent on the cocoa sector. In fact, I have tried to comb through the manifesto and to find even just a mention of cocoa, a very important sector of our economy, is completely missing from their manifesto. I don't know whether they have abandoned the cocoa sector. They don't intend to do anything about the cocoa sector. But I didn't see anything on cocoa. And I can tell you, read the manifesto, you won't find anything on cocoa. I haven't found anything.
Full copy of the highlights.
Please, you were talking, I was quiet.
I'm sure maybe the highlights.
If you go, the manifesto you launch, you have some of them hidden somewhere.
Oh, no, please.
No, they said they dealt with the highlights, but there's a full copy.
Maza.
I have a copy of the highlights and a copy the full one.
You have highlights. You have highlights that doesn't see cocoa as an important highlight.
So you could raise that. You could raise that.
Well, I haven't seen anything on cocoa.
No, I'm saying you could raise that.
Good, but you go and read the full document and tell me where the cocoa sector is.
All right.
The other one that I saw is the president saying, the vice president saying that they were aligning import duties and charges to that of Togo. Togo is a free port. And I want the vice president to understand.
Togo is not a free port.
I'm coming. Look, people move their cargo to Togo not because of import duty. The import duty is paid in the country of use. So if somebody is in Togo, is in, say, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and ship goods to Ghana port, he doesn't pay the duty on it. It is transit, we call it transport trade. He will pay the duty in Burkina Faso, Mali,
transit,
or Niger. So how does reducing import duty direct that traffic to Ghana?
I don't understand you.
How does reducing import duty make your port busy by directing cargo meant for Togo, Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali to Ghana ports. Because they will not pay the duty here. And they will not pay the duty whether it is in Togo or it's in Cote d'Ivoire. They will not pay the duty there until they get to their country. That is one. So that policy already is not aligned. Second, they don't know that the port, there is a private sector investor, and they are talking PPP. There is a PPP project that led to the development of the Tema port into one of the biggest ports in West Africa. And that the private investor has an agreement with the government of Ghana to operate the port over a number of years and recoup the money. So it is not your port. You can't go and be determining that you are going to abolish the charges there. Because the private sector entity has signed on to an agreement with government.
Honorable.
And that person is going to recoup his money. So those charges are not charges that government is going to determine.
We are not seeking to do anything at the Togo port. So when you're talking about
I'm not talking Togo, I'm talking of MPS. MPS.
Please.
When you were talking, I was quiet.
No, but you're putting out information. You said Togo is duty free. Togo is not duty free.
Okay, it's not duty free.
It is not.
It's good. It's not duty free. It is not duty free.
Now
but
you
I'm saying
that it is not.
It is what?
It is not.
You pay duty there?
Yes, Togo is not duty free.
You don't pay duty in Togo when you are bringing the goods to Ghana.
Oh, please.
Oh. Please. You are bringing goods to Ghana, you pay at a flower.
So when we say Togo is not duty free.
I'm saying that, what I'm saying is that, listen, what I'm saying is that an importer of Ghanaian origin, Burkinabe origin, a Malian or Nigerian origin, does not pay duty in Togo.
So
he pays the duty in Ghana.
Randy, this is what happens.
Oh, will you listen to me?
If
he doesn't want me to talk.
Let him explain what it is.
What is saying?
Let me say that. Look, if you Ghanaian import goods into Togo, and it is destined for sale in Ghana, he doesn't pay duty in Togo.
No, that is not what we are saying.
The same as a okay, whatever it is, I'm coming.
Yeah, we are talking about aligning our import duties here, such that it is never higher than that of Togo.
The cost of duties in Ghana,
Randy,
will be the same as the cost of duties in
or
Togo.
lower.
Randy,
or lower.
That is what we are saying.
Because the vice president has said many times that because of that, Ghanaians are moving to Togo with their cargo. Burkinabes and Nigerians are moving their cargo. And when he does that, they will move the cargo to Ghana and increase traffic in Ghana.
Yeah,
I'm saying
I'm sure he was referring to people who move it there and smuggle it into Ghana.
That is the point.
Not to do it.
No, but smuggle is illegal. Even if at Tema Port.
Yeah, by the time we talk about Togo, we talk about smuggling.
So he's perhaps talking about having a system which will dissuade smuggling.
Exactly. And that is the exact word the vice president used.
So aligning to import duty to Togo. So when you get to Togo, you can't smuggle again.
No.
No.
I guess the point is that the point he's making is that if people send their goods to Togo and then find a way of smuggling to Ghana because of prohibitive duties at the port, then I would put it at the level of Togo, so that there will be no incentive for anybody to want to take it to Togo and smuggle it into Ghana.
Try to run away
so they will
from
bring it
security
directly
and all of that.
Randy,
yes.
You believe that if I will pass it through Togo and smuggle and pay nothing, I'll still bring it here and pay something? Is that what you're saying?
No, Togo, you pay something.
Exactly. That is what we are saying.
Yes, something. You pay
so
something.
it is something that takes you to Togo.
That is what we are saying. It will not be higher than
will
that.
Let me make my point.
That's why you are confusing the point.
Randy, this man doesn't want me to talk. Okay. No. I am saying that the problem is to control your borders.
Okay.
But I'm also saying that they speak as if they have not signed on to an IMF program, where they have locked in those revenues as part of the revenue mobilization strategy within the IMF program. Are they saying that they want to abandon the IMF program?
You see, this is a trick, right?
Are they abandoning the IMF program? Oh, why is this man not wanting me to talk?
Gideon, just
I am saying,
Gideon, just hold on.
You are talking about revenue, and this is very important. It is very important at this point.
Randy, just hold on. Randy, let me talk.
Yes, go on.
You have signed on to an IMF program. You have agreed your revenue measures. You have agreed your fiscal consolidation and other things because of that. You have taken 1.5 billion already on account of that. The IMF, on the base of that, has sent you $1.5 billion. And it's even getting World Bank to give you money. Then you come and stand there and say that you, the one who developed that strategy, took it to IMF. It was approved. And you have subsequently been collecting money. Now you come and tell us that you want to abolish it. How is that possible? That is one.
Okay.
Two, Rami, I also heard that they said they have secured some $2 billion to construct airport in Cape Coast. The IMF program provides a limit on commercial lending to Ghana. 2024, we cannot borrow on any commercial loans. Until 2026, when we will borrow $556 million and increase it by 2027 to about $1 million. Commercial loans, $1 billion. So I don't know how they still think that they can con the people of Cape Coast again. After you went there and told them you are building an airport, you did it. Now you are telling us that you are securing $2 billion at a time that you don't even have that no objection from the IMF to borrow. Who are you deceiving? Randy, gold for oil. They have signed an IMF program that says that they shouldn't do gold for oil. So are they suggesting to us that they want to scam the IMF people? That even though IMF says don't do gold for oil, I will still go ahead and expand it. The very person who went to secure the IMF program said that we're not going to do gold for oil, now says that he will come and expand it. And you think that is a policy that you will deceive the people of Ghana. When you started the gold for oil, go and see the price of fuel. It's almost 16 cedis with your gold for oil. And the IMF says, stop the gold for oil. Randy, he said he will peg the exchange rate of the cedi to the price of gold. Do you know the implication of that?
Randy, that is false.
He says he didn't say that.
Lack of understanding. Lack of understanding. When we say gold-backed currency, it is not the same as pegging
let me make my
the
point.
exchange rate to the price of gold.
Listen to me. Listen to me, Randy.
Lack of understanding.
Randy, to convert to fully functionally cover for amount of gold you need in our reserves, to provide gold as a standard or what we call foreign exchange parity, gold parity, you would need to build reserve of about $13 billion in gold in order to cover your M2. Your M2 here is your broad money supply in the country. Okay? That will mean that you have to store gold of about 160,000 metric tons or 160 metric tons here. Do we have that money? Our entire broad money supply is about 208 million as of June. In order to fully cover that, you will need an amount of money that can make you buy gold to the extent of about $13 billion, which is about 160 metric tons. Where are they going to start? Where is the money? Where are they going to get the money to buy that? That is one. Two, we need to also understand that gold-backed programs have not solved the problem of volatility anywhere in the world. In fact, America abandoned it 50 years ago. In our own country, do you know why Ashanti Gold became Anglo Gold Ashanti? It was because of gold volatility. We lost gold fields. Because at the time, when we listed on the New York Stock Exchange, a share of gold of Ashanti Gold Fields was about $20. Because of the volatility in gold prices in 1999 to 2000, the share price came to about less than $2 per share, from 20 to less than $2. And you know why? Because gold fields had to sell most of its gold in advance. We call it hedging. And when you hedge, there are margin calls. And Ashanti Gold was on margin calls for about $250 million because the price of gold had tumbled on the world market. The Bank of England.
Honorable, you're confusing the taste.
The Bank of England sold almost all its gold reserves at the time, leading to a drop in the price of gold. It's on the basis of that we had to sell Anglo Gold to, what do you call it? We have to sell Ashanti Gold to Anglo Gold. So yes, it is good to build reserves using gold. But the most important thing in managing a currency is liquidity. And we are aware that these were the people who said the fundamentals. Now the fundamentals is no more managing the fundamentals, but finding an artificial exchange rate, which is basically about fixing a certain exchange rate in relation to gold. That is not workable. You should show me one country in the world that still does gold parity in exchange rates.
Okay, right.
One. I haven't finished. Let me come.
Oh,
wait. In a minute. I listen to you.
Let's finish for me in a minute. We need to go.
Tax amnesty. I had tax amnesty. Around 2018, we had tax amnesty.
2018?
Yes. 2021, we had tax amnesty. Under the same Baumia. We have had two tax amnesties. if tax amnesty was our solution, why are we still talking about tax amnesty? I sat in Parliament and passed amendment to our tax laws to grant amnesty, which included waiver on penalties and interest costs on those unpaid bills. So it is nothing new. It has not worked, and at best, it is a regular compliance measure used by the GRA. It is not anything new. Again, credit reference bureaus. Credit is not based on anything else other than sustainable income and your payment record. So if you have a very good sustainable income, what it means is that the bank will give you money. So you have to focus on what drives credit, which in this case is sustainable income. Then when the person also go and borrow, is able to get the income to pay. I have not seen a focus on creating sustainable jobs and income. And then you say that you create a credit reference bureau, and because of Ghana card, they will be able to trace people. When you brought Ghana card, you said that loan portfolios in the banking sector was going to jump up. Today, non-performing loans is 21%. At the time they collapsed the banks and talked about non-performing loans, it was 17%. Today, it's 21%. Okay? So this Ghana card and its importance in the management of credit is overflowed. It is a question of managing the economy and making sure that people, when they borrow, they have the capacity to pay.
Right. Okay.
Randy, yes.
Randy.
I know the last one.
Okay. So the last one I want to make is that I was expecting them to tell us, having messed up this economy, having created an unsustainable debt portfolio, how are they going to manage the sustainability of our debt going forward? Okay. And not promise to exacerbate the problem. Because you see, you are struggling to raise revenue. Your expenditures are all over the place. You have borrowed to the roof. You can't pay your debt. Now you come and tell us that the revenue measures that you went to agree with the IMF, betting tax, you remove it. E-levy, you remove it. And these are the things you agreed with IMF to anchor your fiscal stabilization. So I don't know whether they have forgotten that somehow they have signed an agreement with the IMF. And that IMF program, and somebody will ask, what about NDC? Our flag bearer has signaled that we will cause a review of the IMF program. Because we don't think that that program is nationalistic enough. At best, what was put before the IMF is a desktop review. We want to engage Ghanaians and take Ghanaians along in developing an IMF program which responds to stakeholder interests, but at the same time address the problems that we want to address. That should help us to manage our monetary policy. It should help us to manage our stability of our currency. It should help us to deal with fiscal, fiscal consolidation and manage our public debt. We will find solutions to that and not deal with the kind of arrangement that they have put together.
Doc, unfortunately, we don't have time.
Randy, just quick one.
Yes.
First, he was asking whether Coco was mentioning the manifesto. If he goes to page 183,
what did he
see
say?
That, please.
Okay.
And then 2.
What did he say?
Please.
No, he doesn't have time to.
Then 2, he talks about the fact that we are locked up in an IMF program, and so if we want to reduce import duties, we will not get revenue. That is understanding of the theories of economics. Total revenue is a function of price and quantity. You can increase your price, maintain your quantity, get the same revenue, or you can reduce your price, increase quantity, and get the same revenue. We think
that's what Dr. Bauer.
Listen,
I'm coming.
Moving from taxation to production. Remember,
please.
It was this argument, this warped argument.
Let me give you a practical example.
It was this warped argument.
We reduce
moving economy from taxation to production.
Gold export tax, withholding tax, from 3% to 1.5%. And see what has happened. It has shot up.
Where?
Okay, please.
Moving from taxation to production is not the same argument.
Let me give you
the same argument. What happened?
Randy,
nothing happened.
So let me tell you.
Added on.
If you're thinking,
Ghanaians are tired of this.
If you're thinking, their thinking is to increase taxes to get more.
Gideon, first of all, on the gold,
please.
That's what you went to do.
Gideon, first of all, on the gold one.
That's what you went to do.
Yeah.
When you decided to impose that thing in 2021,
what happened?
You were told that don't do it. It is wrong. You went ahead and you did it.
And we have reduced.
And it's when you realize that the opposite had happened, then now you reduce it to 1.5.
So
you created a problem in 2021.
I'm using this to buttress the point that you don't need to realize more revenue by increasing
gold is a regulated taxes. It's a regulated. So how are you increasing every day? You are increasing taxes every day.
The LAFA theory tells us that you can get similarly increased revenue with a reduction in taxes.
You have been increasing taxes.
That is
why have you been increasing taxes?
I have a question for you. I have a small question, so we finish with it.
And you are not saying that if you reduce taxes, you get taxes. Why have you been increasing taxes?
Just give him 1 minute.
No, but why has he been increasing taxes if they know this?
When you say certain things are allowed, then when I draw his attention,
no, why if you know this? Why have you been increasing taxes?
First and foremost,
it
was wrong for you to posit here that having a gold-backed currency is the same as pegging the price of the currency to the price of gold. You don't understand that. That is not, please.
We call it gold.
Please,
no,
please. You don't understand.
No. But how does the gold
Please.
Let
me explain to you now. Let me explain to you.
Explain about what?
Having a gold.
We have listened to Baumia on this gold to
you don't understand. Let me explain to you. Having a gold-backed currency is not the same as pegging the price of the currency to the price of gold. Now, what we are saying is that we have enough gold stock, and I can give you. He says the IMF has restricted us from the gold purchase.
Gold for oil.
That is not true.
Hey, is that gold for oil?
Gold for oil.
It's not true. I can give you the data on gold for oil and the gold for reserves. What we are saying is that we have enough stock of gold, and the purchases we have made under the domestic gold purchase program, which is into reserves and gold for oil, indicate to us that so far we have done 65 tons of purchases of gold. And so we have enough to match our monetary base with the equivalence of gold reserves. That is technically what it means.
Help me understand.
It is not a question of pegging.
No.
Please.
No.
Matching your monetary base.
I gave you two scenarios.
Please.
Listen.
Matching your monetary base, which is your currency in circulation,
so who mentioned monetary
and your
base?
reserves.
Who mentioned monetary base?
Please.
No, who mentioned monetary base? Don't misquote me.
Please.
I gave you two
It is when I drew your attention. Now you came to talk about M3.
I was building.
You didn't understand it from that. You mentioned M2. You didn't even understand it from that. So it is when I drew your attention.
I was
then you came to mention M2.
I was making my point. I was making my point.
You were wrong.
So about what?
You don't understand.
Wrong about what?
Chief.
So I mentioned to you our money. What is our money?
What I'm saying, what we are saying is
that we need to go. Unfortunately, I'm unable to ask you the question that I have to ask you, and that question has to do. The question has to do with the fact that Dr. Bwako,
and I mentioned
I hope that you are aware of the customs external tariff, which is an ECOWAS thing.
Exactly.
Okay. Yes. And so unless you opt out of ECOWAS,
we are not opting out.
No, I'm saying that unless you opt out of ECOWAS, I mean the tariffs, the rates.
There are different things that build up to the rates.
No, I'm just saying that the tariffs, the rates are the same
for harmonized codes
across ECOWAS countries.
Yes.
The difference then comes with respect to your taxes, your levies, and the depreciation of your currency.
Exactly.
And in our case, we have a problem with the depreciation of our currency and then our taxes and levies.
You hear us talking about a flat rate.
Yes.
So we are dealing with those components.
Yes.
Okay. So if you take time,
so for a container, that contains different products, how do you slap a flat rate?
That is not a problem, because the rate fluctuation is what causes the increases, the unexpected increases, if I should put it that way. If you're able to have a flat rate, that gives comfort and certain predictability.
So the flat rate is what?
You have
a flat rate on what?
So you can decide to have a flat rate currency exchange rate.
What is your proposal?
Our proposal is to bring predictability. That is what the Vice President
said. By doing what? What exactly?
I'm coming. That's what the Vice President said, to bring predictability.
By doing exactly what?
In the import duties.
By doing exactly
what?
Such
that all these components you're talking about, the ones that we are bound by ECOWAS protocols to have, we have them. But the ones that government has control over, which the major one is the exchange rate component. It's what we are seeking to have a flat rate on that.
So a fixed exchange rate.
To have a flat rate.
Is that what you mean by flat rate?
So that it brings that predictability.
Doc, give me clarity.
And then
when you say the fixed rate, are you referring to a fixed exchange rate over a particular period? Is that what you are referring to?
That is my understanding.
Of the flat rate?
That is my understanding.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So that will be it. That will be it. We'll quickly deal with what's happening, what's trending on social media, and then there will be Metro Sports. Thanks, Honorable. Thanks, Doc, for joining me. And I hope I'll have you guys soon. After the NDC one.
Yeah.
I need to have you guys again. All right. So Desi will join us shortly, and then Metro Sports.
Now you should give us more time.
No problem. No problem.
So get up, get started, and make we do
Yeah, and you were back in Greece. To say, why you fit a millionaire? Yes, the luckiest at Aroma. To say, about from Massa Echema. Yeah. Now check this. Sister Abna, aka Kodi Hima. The luckiest at Aroma. Queen B.
Yeah.
Boss lady back up there.
Let's go.
Hold on to your seats, folks. Such anyway, be you smooth. Way enter your friend will upgrade. Luckiest Adaroma. And the best part, that with the luckiest, Obia or a shot to a good life. And I'm talking to you, me, your girlfriend, your ex, your neighbors, your landlords, and even Goro boys. And no one is over dialing with lucky number. Star 712 hash. No.
Oswaldo ticket to win in the community draw or the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Time to check out what is trending on social media with Desi. So quick,
Doc, good morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, we've got to do this real quick. Let's go to Ashaiman because yesterday a man nearly committed suicide. He had climbed a long high tension pole.
Why?
That he was tired. He has cancer and he couldn't pay for his bills. So he wants to end his life.
Oh no!
And so it was the fire service team that was able to rescue him from the top. He said he tired.
Oh.
He tired. He didn't want to end down, but they were able to rescue him, and
it needs to be cancelled.
Yeah, it needs to be cancelled. That's already he had one, but we already tried to survive once more. So suicide is never an option.
Well, that's him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And no matter that me to Temajana Hospital. After Temajana Hospital for so almost miss uncle UGMC. Manantia, my breath. My football. Nanka and Nemiama is Miss Uncle or no bad. Almost me call no mas can mean to me in Tennessee and the mean corner. The man who teamwork.
Really sad there. Kudos to the fire service team who were able to rescue him there. Quickly, let's talk about Abdul Fattah Shahaku because he's trending on X and all the social media platforms after his great display yesterday against Tottenham Hotspur. That was his first EPL game, Monday Night Football, and he did really well, giving that assist to Jamie Vardy there. So, I mean, he's been talked about a lot after his, playing the championship last season, where he scored, or he assisted 13 times in the championship, but of course, doing very well yesterday in that game against Tottenham. And that was a game that a lot of us as Ghanaians were looking forward to see what Fatah will be able to do in the game. So yesterday he did very well. According to Flasco, he had a rating of, I think, 8.0. Yeah, so he did very well. Pretty high. Yeah, pretty high. He did really, really well in that game. Now, the next story is a very bizarre one, where an off-duty policeman, who's also a hidden app driver, Doc. This man picked up a lady in his car. They got to the destination. The lady calls out, a certain gentleman supposed to help with the location, or then now disagreements over the fare. This off-duty policeman pulls out a gun, shoots the guy, just like that. Just like that. The police released a statement yesterday. So that's the statement the police released yesterday. That they got to the place, there were disagreements about the fare. This policeman put out his gun unprovoked and shot the guy. So the IGP and some top officials from the Ghana police have visited the family and commiserated with them and have provided some psychological, what's the word to use, aid to the family as they go through. This is very crazy. I mean, how does this even happen? I've been started listening to the story around this, and actually the statement also, like, why do you get to do that?
Investigations concluded.
Doc, let me remember, yesterday was Annie's birthday. Yeah, so belated one to Annie. But Dr. Meso Tabo has made a statement that a lot of people are debating on social media.
Which one?
Be bold and marry. And let's watch the video.
Be bold. Marry. Set the date. If you are afraid of veil, don't veil. If you are afraid of gown, don't gown. If you are afraid of wedding cake, don't cake. Just come to the church office. This is the woman I want, this is the man I want. Do you, I do. Go. That's how it's done. Then from there you start together in agreement, praying together, thinking together, planning together, acting together.
But as Annie told you that.
No, it's not.
Problem.
Doc, it's not in relation to you. I was giving the birthday shower separate.
That a problem is veiling or gowning or kicking.
Hey, that one, no.
She hasn't said that any of the three.
I gave a birthday shower
But
first.
that's a general overseer.
Yes. Oh, true.
That's a general. They just finished.
Greater Works.
Yes.
I don't know about Papa. You have lost that reality.
So the Greater Works, she was wearing camouflage. That's when I realized that she had engaged in a warfare with Satan.
Because she was on the stage singing ministry.
Yeah, she was in a camouflage.
Yeah.
Straight warfare with Satan. As for this year,
let me go.
So it shall be well. We'll join her.
I gave a birthday shower separate.
We'll join her in prayer.
Yo.
So up next is sports.
Yeah.
Now, one of the regular panelists on Metro Sports.
Okay.
Is a gentleman called Nidaku. He's an official of Kumasi Asante Kotoko.
Okay.
Yesterday, I saw a post that he's made about the Baba Yara Stadium. You know that the AFCON 2025 qualifiers will start. Ghana will play its first match against Angola. Baba Yara Stadium on the 6th of September. That's probably about 16 days from today.
Okay.
Ghana, Angola. Now I saw a post by Nidaku. Now this is what he says. Nobody, and I repeat, nobody should blame the GFA when CAF fails to approve the Baba Yara Sports Stadium for the Black Stars match. I wouldn't be surprised should CAF relocate Ghana to either Abidjan, Nigeria, or any of the neighboring countries for our international matches. This is the current state of the only approved facility for international games in Ghana. This new NSA boss and his new Ashanti regional director are innovatively bankrupt than Professor Chumesi and Mr. Emmanuel Kojo-Appiah. Me cry, I don't even know why God created me a Ghanaian. This is Nidaku's post. And he followed it up with the pictures. The current state of the show. This is it. So as of yesterday when I saw this were the pictures he posted. And Ghana is supposed to play Angola on the 6th of September at the Baba Yara Stadium. After that, Ghana plays Niger on, I think, the 9th. Now, guess what? Niger didn't get any stadium approved for them. So the Niger against Ghana match will be played in Morocco. So Niger will play their home match in Morocco. There's a place which is about 400 to 500 kilometers away from the capital. That's where Niger will play their home match. Now, this is the picture that they posted of the Baba Yara Stadium, which is where we have had a provisional approval for the national team games. So this is a post by Nidako. I don't know if he will be on Metro Sports today, but this is what I saw yesterday.
Wow.
His post.
The only approved stadium for international. I know this one looks like some high school park or community park.
Yes.
Hey, because I think there was a church conference.
Okay, so I'm told that Nidako
he's going to be on the show.
He will be on Metro Sports as well.
There was a church conference, a very big one. I think that was the last one I saw.
Well, this is it. This is Baba Yara. So the Black Stars play on the 6th. Kumasi Asante Kotoko will start the
Premier League
on the 8th. 8th or 9th of September.
Hey.
Yeah.
On that note.
Yes. So up next,
Metro
Sports.